All right, welcome into Highmark Stadium, Game 5 of 5 this weekend of the Section 6 Football Championships, and we're going to end with the big dogs. It's Class AA, Bennett versus Lancaster. Guys, we've had 4 blowouts, let's be honest. But I think this one, I'm hoping this one's going to be different. We have 2 big dogs. Right now, as I said, you have Bennett with that great rushing attack and Lancaster, who's going for their 6th straight sectional title. If they pull this off, they would be only the second team in Section 6 to ever do it. Guys, how do you feel about this Class AA game?
Man, it's really this is really we've had some undercard fights. This really seems like to be the heavyweight
Main event, right?
main event,
Main event.
heavyweight championship bout right here. And I think just with both teams, they bring so much to the table. Obviously Lancaster, for years we watched Jason Mansell lead the team at the quarterback position, but Noah Kimball has really stepped in, sliding in from receiver, being able to provide that dual threat, and him and Micah Harry in the read option game, and just in the backfield for the Legends this season has been tremendous. And on the flip side, I want to see how those guys match up against, a formidable defensive line for the Tigers, with obviously Rashard Perry is no question. Him and Jimmy Scott have been regarded as the 2 best defensive linemen in the area. But don't forget about Delshon Taylor. He actually leads the team with 18 sacks on the season.
Yeah. I think we can probably say right now we're about to have the 4 best teams in Western New York probably playing football at the same time, right? Came across town with St. Francis and Canisius, and then the 2 big dogs tonight. And I think this is the first matchup, guys, where it wasn't a situation where it was a finesse team versus a ground and pound team. This is 2 ground and pound teams, all right? And you mentioned Perry. I think he's the best football player in Western New York.
No doubt.
Not just the best lineman. I think he's the best football player in Western New York.
No doubt.
But Bennett coming off a 70-point performance, avenging a loss, their only loss of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Lancaster's only loss was to Bennett earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can't ask on paper. We got to have a good game finally, right? I mean, we have to have I know we weren't expecting 4 blowouts, 4 for 4 so far,
Right.
but I can't see either team getting blown out. It's just too good, too much talent out there, 2 well-coached teams.
For sure.
And I'm really looking forward to this one, Francis.
These two teams played each other week 5. Bennett winning 48-24. Although that score is a little misleading.
Right, great.
Bennett actually took, I believe it was a 21-0 lead early in the game, maybe 24-0 lead. Lancaster came all the way back, I believe, took the lead, and then Bennett stormed back at the very end, and I believe their last touchdown was like with less than a minute to go. They had a pick 6 in that game, very late score in that game. So that was a pretty close back and forth game. Bennett has always been close past few years. Of course, Lancaster's won it in the end, but something feels different. I feel like, not to get into predictions here, I feel like this might be their year. Just something, it feels like they finally have it.
Yeah, they have so much talent. I mean, Dominic Allen, he's had a tremendous season running the ball. I'm really interested to see. I think, we've talked about, like you mentioned earlier, Tim, like the different styles that we've seen for a lot of these matchups. I'm really excited to see a game where 2 run-first teams are taking each other on. So in the end, what quarterback will be able to make enough plays to be able to get their team over the top? Obviously, we mentioned Noah Kimball, but Antonio Davis, the third, he hasn't necessarily been
slouch though.
No slouch at all. And that's the thing. He hasn't had to be the catalyst, but when he's been asked to be, a factor for the team, he has stepped up. So I just want to be able to see who can make more plays.
And to piggyback on that, both these quarterbacks, very similar numbers, right around those 800 yards passing, and both kind of right in the middle, 50-50 with touchdown interceptions.
For sure.
So it might come down to who can take care of the ball also. I mean, two of the star running backs on this team for sure. Micah Harry, 1,210 yards, 18 touchdowns, and you mentioned Dominic Allen, 1,600 yards, 19 touchdowns. So we got some superstars out there. But man, this has got to be a fun one.
Tim, you mentioned turnovers. A guy who likes getting interceptions, Jaden Lewis. He had a couple picks last week, including a pick 6, which I believe he took all the way from one end zone to the other. He is probably the X factor for this team. You'll see he'll be big on defense, and he's also their leading receiver, 340 yards on the season.
Very well-rounded defense for Lancaster tonight as well. So I'm really interested to see how they match up against this Tigers offense.
And you know what? These are two fantastic coaches. Coach McDuffie, Coach Rupp, they always have their teams ready. They always have their guys ready to play. And these are not teams that generally beat themselves.
Right.
They don't take stupid penalties. Usually, they don't take stupid penalties. They don't shoot themselves in the foot, and they go play smash mouth smart football.
No doubt.
You know, I was at the end of my film for watching all these games. I noticed it both. I checked their week 8 game and their week 1 game, or their last game and their first game. Rashard Perry, I noticed they move him on the offensive line to where they're going to run the ball. So it's interesting. If there's any coaching, and granted he's 7'8", 300 plus pounds that can move anybody. But if there's any coaching staff that can key in on that and somehow take advantage, it's this Lancaster coaching staff. National anthem has just wrapped up, so we're going to send it to the broadcast booth. We have Stu Boyer, Tom Prince are on the call of Bennett and Lancaster, the Section 6 Class AA Championship. We're going to send it over to them.
Live from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, I'm Stu Boyer along with Tom Prince as we're set to bring you the final sectional championship game of the day. Lancaster, as you see the legends at midfield with the Bennett Tigers. Lancaster in the white jerseys, Bennett in the blue jerseys as the flip of the coin is on. And Tom, we're just hoping for a really good game. Every game has been kind of lopsided so far.
So far, the 4 teams that have lost have scored a combined 18 points in those games, right? So that gives you a little idea of what we're at. But listen, all right, I'm still excited. I'm still pumped. You're still going to hear my excitement, Stu.
Well,
you know
always,
that.
yes.
Because there's a AA matchup, right? This really is. This is one of the matchups we've been waiting for. We know how good this Bennett team is, and you're talking about a 5-time sectional champion in Lancaster. They're going for number 6. They're trying to make history, and they got Bennett right now in the way, which is a very tall task to ask. But I'll tell you, we got a great what I really think it should be.
Well, Bennett will kick off. The officials for today's game, this is a veteran crew led by referee Al Fuller. Brian Mayday is the umpire. The linesman is David Michael. Mike Chattel is the line judge, and the back judge is Jerry Inglet. We've got our whole crew here. Francis Beck, Kyrie Demos, Tim Chifa, doing great work in between games, after games. Sarah Holland doing a great job as well down on the field. Tim Gardner, our producer, and Matt Tyree is shooting this one as we get set for the opening kickoff. Lancaster will receive. They will attack the, not the scoreboard end, the other end of Highmark Stadium. Longtime home of the Buffalo Bills of the NFL, so it's got to be a thrill for each and every kid to step on this field where their NFL heroes play their games.
Tonight is about making a memory. Someone's going to have a memory of a lifetime right here, and it's going to be made tonight.
As we're set for the kickoff, a little bit of snow left on the field. You can see at the 50-yard line, it's been cleaned off a little bit better between the two 45-yard lines.
It's the best of any game, though, so far, as far as the way it's been cleared off.
The kick is caught by one of the up men, and it's a short return. Oh, he scooted all the way out. That was a blocker out there, but it'll be about the 34, 35-yard line. Returned, I believe, by Nick Lawrence. And now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Legends. Just underway, Class AA championship game. Winner gets a spot in the Far West Regionals against a team from Rochester next Saturday at Williamsville South High School. Micah Harry, the big running back for Lancaster. Noah Kimball is the quarterback. And there's the handoff, and he's got some running room, and he knocks over one of the officials out to about the 48-yard line. And fortunately, the official gets up. Good first down run there, and Lancaster going into the hurry-up.
I'm just glad he's okay. I mean, he was trying to absorb a hit right there.
Yes. And there's the handoff, and coming to the near side, and not nearly as much there this time, is being brought down right in front of the Lancaster bench is Micah Harry.
And that was taken down by Dominic Allen, the running back we're going to also talk about a lot when Bennett actually has the ball offensively.
This will be second down, 2nd and 7. And there's a handoff, and Kimball's got some running room, and he's brought down all the way down at about the Bennett 31-yard line. Excuse me, that was not Kimball, that was Harry. I misspoke.
Boy, you got to love what right now Lancaster's doing on their line. Do you see these holes that are opening up for Harry to run through right now?
And just like that, we got a very quick timeout taken by Bennett. So Lancaster coming out with a surprise, fast-paced offense, and Bennett getting reorganized here just a little bit.
But what I've been most impressed with is the holes that the offensive line are opening up, and they're giving Harry the opportunity to do what he does best. You know, I talk about it a lot. I talked about it on a couple of the games today when we've kind of given a little preview about Lancaster. Harry, one of the most underrated running backs in Western New York. This kid can put up some numbers. He's going to find the holes. He's going to find a way in the end zone. I really like this running back for Lancaster.
Well, now we'll see how Bennett adjusts to Lancaster coming out and just taking it to him on the first 3 or 4 plays of the ball game.
We will give you updates as we go along from the other game tonight. We thank you for choosing us. And St. Francis and Canisius right now tied up at 7.
1st and 10. And there's a handoff to the near side. Not nearly as much there that time for Harry. Maybe a 2-yard gain that time. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 29-yard line of Bennett. And Lancaster doing this hurry-up thing. Kimball checks the armband down his wrist, waits the shotgun snap. Oh, they thought somebody might have moved, but no flags. Looked like Bennett might have crossed into the neutral zone, but it didn't happen that way. There's a handoff to Harry, who barrels forward. He's close to another 1st down, all the way down to about the 20-yard line. So far, Micah Harry having his way with the Bennett Tigers.
And it's funny, we're going to see both teams predominantly do the same thing today, Stu. Both teams really run the ball. They're both run-first teams, and that's what we're going to see. So you should see is, without stops, this clock is going to move a lot today. It really should be.
And there's another run, and that looks like it's good for the 1st down. And before that play, Tom, it looked like Lancaster changed out its entire offensive line. They had like 6 players coming in and going out. Well, that's a 1st down on the 19-yard line. And finally, Bennett rises up, and no room to run there as Ryan Lynn gets shoved back.
By Adrian Anderson was the one on the tackle right there, the defensive end, the 200-pounder.
Well, he knew what was coming there.
He did. He really did.
So it'll make it 2nd and 12 from the 21-yard line. Just underway, 9:33 and counting to go here in the 1st quarter. Still scoreless. Lancaster's first possession. Micah Harry in the backfield with Kimball. He gets the handoff, and he squirts away from a couple of tacklers, and it's close to another 1st down. Well, some determined running by Micah Harry. Kept those legs moving and barreled forward for a really good gain.
On the tackle was number 50, Xavier Goodman.
So far, it's been pretty much all Micah Harry. Kimball looks to the sideline. 3rd and 3. And there's the handoff to Harry. He's got the 1st down. He's down inside the 5-yard line, down to about the 2.5-yard line. So Bennett has yet to solve Micah Harry. And Lancaster quickly goes back to the line of scrimmage.
Torrey Anderson saves a touchdown on that one right there.
There's a handoff to Harry, barreling forward, stopped just short of the goal line. And we're going to get a bunch of substitutions here for Lancaster again.
Keeping fresh, fresh legs, fresh bodies. It's cold down there. There's no doubt about it. We were just down there. We know how cold it is. And when that wind kicks up and swirls, it's very good to make sure you're not cold.
And there's the handoff and barreling forward and stopped short of the end zone. Looked like that was looked like 33, but I couldn't be sure. was no assisty if it was 33, but he's listed as a defensive back. Oh, 35? That would be Jacob Zimmerman. All right, my eyes aren't always the greatest. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Stu, I'm just glad they're numbers you can see out there, right? Because that's our first thing all the time.
Yes, that's an excellent point, Tom. And there's a false start, I think, on Lancaster. Al Fuller says, yes, illegal procedure against the Legends, and they'll back it up 5 yards, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 6.
Because, Stu, we could be right now at St. Francis and Canisius, and I'll bet you it's white on gold that Canisius is wearing.
Yeah, we've had a couple. Canisius, don't forget that Batavia
The Batavia
team.
one, yeah. And guess what? If they win tonight, Batavia, they go to the Far West Regionals.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hopefully they have different uniforms. Their own TV crew couldn't tell who scored a touchdown. And this is a pass. Kimball rolling to the left. He's still got the run pass option, and he's brought down on the far side. Gained maybe a yard. So Bennett does a great job of bending, but not quite breaking. It'll be 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. And we'll see what they choose to do here.
Great defense right there by Bennett. They could have bitten the fake, right? You know that fake sometimes you bite. No bite by the defense. Stayed their ground and make sure that he couldn't get in for the end zone. Does a great job right there, though, the defense of Bennett.
Caleb Dunbar will try a field goal with Kimball, the quarterback, the holder. Kick is up, and it's good. And Lancaster strikes first. The Legends take a 3-0 lead with 6:28 to play here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the Class AA Section 6 championship game. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
So Lancaster is set to kick off here. The Legends lead 3-0. 6:28 to go in the first quarter. High end or over end kick, fielded at about the 25-yard line and spinning away from a couple of tacklers, but getting out to about the 21-yard line. Ethan Brunch, perhaps, 21 on the return. Either way, it's 1st and 10 Bennett. The Tigers get their first possession of the game here. And by the way, Dennis Serro has texted Tom and said, yes, Canisius was wearing white and gold. Thank you, Dennis. And we're missing Dennis this year for the first time in over 25 years. He's the Connolly Cup chairman and a little under the weather. So a shout out to Dennis, and thanks for the white and gold update.
And we're thinking of you, buddy. Get better very quick. We're right there with you.
And there's the handoff to Allen, and he's got about maybe 2 yards. The Legends saw that one coming. A short gain there. Looked like Sam Judez on the tackle, 45.
So while you last week were down in Jacksonville watching the Bills play, I actually got to call the game that Allen did last week, right? Ready for this? 14 carries, 290 yards, and 5 touchdowns he does for the game against Orchard Park. I'm telling you, this kid's for real. I told you we'd end up talking about him. If he finds an opening, watch out. And he's a much taller back than you see out there by backs.
So Bennett, a lot of motion on the offensive line. Davis under center, and he hands it off to who else but Allen, and he spins forward. He's a little short of the first down, but he kind of made something out of nothing there, which is obviously something he's really good at.
Absolutely. And on that tackle there was number 12, Ethan Monin, the defensive back senior.
So Bennett's first possession, Lancaster drove down the field, had they were in a goal-to-goal situation and wound up settling for a field goal. Those are the only points of the game so far. 3rd and 2 on the 39 for the Bennett Tigers. Orange pants, blue jerseys. They'll hand it off and going forward, and it's awfully close depending on where they give them the first down. Is that Shamir Land, number 3?
And I don't think...
No, it's Jason Russell, sorry.
No, and they're going to mark this short. Look where that ball's.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just right there. I mean, boy,
Yeah, I was surprised.
they're gonna
measure
measure.
that.
Yeah, they're gonna measure.
I was surprised they didn't hand the ball to Allen on that one.
Well, they got a bunch of guys that will run
Yeah.
it, right? They really do. And sometimes you try to mix it up. I know more than anything, but listen, we do have a score update. Canisius has taken the lead in their
Ooh.
game. It's now 10-7 with 9:43 left in the second quarter over there.
Well, one thing about both those teams, they each have a pretty good kicker.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so they're not. Neither coach is going to be afraid to send their field goal unit onto the field.
What was it, a 36-yarder that St. Francis hit to tie the game against Canisius the first time? I'm right about there. I thought it was 36, if I remember.
That sounds about right. Ooh,
So this is just short. You can see right here. Like a couple chain links is what it looks like.
And they're going to go for it. We'll see if they actually run a play or just try to get him to jump off sides here. If they don't get it, that's really great field position for Lancaster. Although it doesn't seem like much phases this Bennett team as in terms of falling behind because they know they can score and score a lot and quickly. And there's the handoff, and it's Allen, and he's down the far sideline and shoved out of bounds in Lancaster territory. No doubt about that. A first down and plenty more.
If he gets room and can get to the outside, watch out, because that's really when you're going to run into trouble right there. Because that means he's already gone through that line and now has broken out to the outside, and now it's a foot race from there on in.
And most people aren't going to catch him.
It's exactly it.
So it's 1st and 10 at the Lancaster 46-yard line for Bennett, trailing 3-0. 4:50 to go here in the first quarter of the Class AA Section 6 championship game. Antonio Davis back to pass, throws deep downfield. He's got a man, and he caught it. Jaden Lewis hauled that. I thought for sure the ball was being juggled and almost dropped. Was that Bradbury or Lewis?
It was Bradbury on that one.
Bradbury, okay. So, excuse me, it was Ahmed Bradbury, and that's a big gain all the way down to the 7-yard line. Be 1st and goal.
Stu, you talked about the field. That's where the most snow is, right? And that snow is ice right now. And I think he hit a little bit of that ice and just slipped is what happened.
And there's a flag, and it's called a touchdown. We'll see if that comes back. Let's see what the flag is. Holding Bennett, so no touchdown. Well, the flag came out quickly. So for now, Lancaster will hold on to the lead. It is interesting that they were able to clean off between the 45-yard lines, but not much else.
But like when we were down at the field and they were shoveling, even in the end zone, by far this is the best the field has looked all day.
Yeah, well,
and there were people out there working on the field. So I do not want this Section 6 team that they put together to help out has been phenomenal.
1st and goal now from the 17-yard line. And a short gain on the run. The Lancaster defense stiffens. And Allen gets maybe 2 yards.
And it looked like the man on the tackle right there for Lancaster was number 54, Mike Sell, the defensive lineman.
So 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line for Bennett. Davis under center, and he hands it off to the running back, and there's no room to run there, none, for Torrey Anderson.
Yeah, so I think it was, number 31, yep.
So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 15-yard line. 14, excuse me. Scoreboard says 14, we'll go with that.
So the difference here right now, Stu, is I don't know if Bennett's going to try to kick a field goal here. They're not in that range. We don't know if they've got a field goal kicker. We will always see them usually go for 2. So you would think right now it's 2 shots to right now get in that end zone.
I was just going to mention that before you brought it up. And here's Davis, back to pass, throws, caught by Lewis, and he's brought down almost immediately. They say he did not get out of bounds, so the clock continues to tick. He's brought down somewhere about the 10 or 12 yard line, and it'll be 4th and goal. Well, they're going to say the 13-yard line. So this will be the second of those two plays. It's 4th and goal. And could be a big emotional swing here, although none of the games today have been close. But this one, so far, still a 3-point game. It's early in the game.
Hey, remember, it was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter in a couple of these
That's
ones.
true. that is true. 4th and goal from the 13-yard line. Antonio Davis III under center. And there's a flag. Flag thrown in the end zone was a delay game, looks like. So now Bennett will back up another 5 yards. And it'll be 4th and goal from the 18-yard line. I always wonder, Tom, how much of this stuff is actually feeling the team and the opponent out, getting a feel for being in a championship game.
Oh, I'm sure a ton of it is.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
nerves that are out there. Don't tell me when that kickoff doesn't come, there are butterflies going on in those stomachs sometimes. Even though you still want to hit somebody and you still want to get in there, I get it. But there's still some nerves in there.
4th and goal from the 18-yard line for Bennett. Tigers trail 3-0 in the first quarter. Davis back to pass. He's in trouble, and he's brought down all the way back at the 31-yard line. The legend, the big defensive play, and that's where Lancaster will have the football, 1st and 10. So Lancaster stands firm and stops the Bennett advance, and they'll take over on downs. They'll spot it exactly at the 30-yard line.
And a big sack that looked like it was number 60, Brendan Mahoney, the sophomore offensive line, the outside linebacker right there.
1st and 10, Lancaster. Micah Harry has done a lot of damage. There's a pass, and it's caught, and that's a 1st down and then some. On 1st down, the completion. I don't have a number 1 for Lancaster. And I think number 1 caught that, didn't he?
Number 1 or number no.
Was it 11? Tyler Kramer. Maybe it was Tyler Kramer.
On the tackle, though, was number 7, Jaden Lewis on that one.
1st and 10, and a run for Harry, who barrels forward. He's got about 7 or 8 yards. Just some great running, keeping those legs moving. Close to another 1st down. And so far, Lancaster's really taken it to Bennett.
And on the tackle there was number 50, Xavier Goodman.
Noah Kimball at quarterback. Second and 2 at the 45. Here's Kimball. And he will keep that one himself and go forward for 2 or 3 yards.
But enough for a 1st down.
Yes, sir. So the chains will move as we're in the final minute of the first quarter. And honestly, it's been pretty much all Lancaster. They only have 3 points to show for it, but it's been a Lancaster's quarter.
But you've got to keep putting points on the board because you saw Bennett moved the ball, right? It wasn't like that was a complete stop and didn't move the ball there. You have to put points on the board, and you can't just put field goals up either.
And there goes Harry again, and this time he's shoved back after some forward progress. We'll see where they spot that one.
It looked like that was Rashad Perry right there on the tackle.
And that's a name we'll also be hearing a great deal of today, I would expect.
You know, but sometimes those offensive linemen and defensive linemen could have incredible games, and you don't call their name a lot, right?
That's true.
You know what I mean? And just really have that game that is unbelievable at the line and what they cause, but don't get the recognition they deserve.
And there's Harry for another 1st down. And that will bring the first quarter to a close.
We're going to kick it down to Sarah right now.
All right.
As she's going to give us a report from the sidelines.
All right, so it's 0-0. It's 3-0 Lancaster after the first quarter, and let's go down on the sidelines.
Sarah, go ahead.
To Sarah Holland.
This is Sarah Holland, and it is the end of the first quarter here at Highmark Stadium, and the Lancaster Legends leading by a score of 3-0 over the Bennett Tigers. With the win tonight, the Legends will have the chance to have 6 straight Section 6 titles and be the second program in section history to do so. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. So the teams will switch ends, and now Lancaster will be driving toward the scoreboard end of the field here at Highmark Stadium. Most of the field still covered in a little bit of snow at the very least. And so far, Lancaster's winning at the line of scrimmage.
No doubt. I agree with you. And Micah Harry's found every hole, and you can see when he finds that hole, it's
tough.
It's a 10-yard gain almost every single time.
So Lancaster will have a 1st and 10 at the Bennett 30-yard line as Steve McDuffie's crew looks for answers. Both these schools have been here a number of times here at the stadium. So 1st and 10 for Lancaster at the 30. Kimball awaits the shotgun snap. And he will hand it off, and barreling forward close to another 1st down is Micah Harry. He wouldn't let him bring him down, Tom. He kept moving that pile.
And that's exactly what we talk about it. If you're a little loop player, a younger player, you should be watching some of these guys because it's exactly what you should be doing. Never stop those legs because it could easily be another 2, 3, 5, 10, or even break for a touchdown by keeping those legs going.
And there's a flag as Harry gets the ball again. It was 2nd and 2. And the flag, we'll wait and see what Al Fuller has to say about that. For what it was worth, the flag was in holding territory. We'll see. Keep your eye on the man in the white hat, Al Fuller, as he comes holding against Lancaster, so the Legends will back up just a bit.
Maybe the first mistake we've really seen by Lancaster so far, really doing well.
And they're still doing a bit of a hurry-up offense here. If they're huddling, they're doing it really fast. I don't see them huddling much. So my guess is Kimball's getting a lot of plays from the sideline. He looks over there now, but there was no Lancaster huddle there. And Fuller says, wind that clock.
The first half moving very quickly so far because it's almost been solely by the run.
Yes. And there's Harry barreling forward. Got some of that yardage back. And
that was Rashad Perry again in on the tackle.
It'll be 3rd down for the Legends. Legends in the red pants, red helmets with the white stripe, white jerseys, red numbers. Tigers in the orange pants, blue helmets, blue jerseys with the orange numbers. Here we go, 3rd and 10 from the 29. Kimball back to pass. We got whistles and flags. False start on Lancaster. Let's see. False start on the Legends. So 2 penalties on this drive that will not make Eric Rupp happy, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You know, Stu, there was only one team that was a home team that opted to be on the sideline closest to the fans. Every home team otherwise opted to go to the far sideline.
Really? I wonder why they did that.
I wanted to stay away from the fans.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mean, but that's exactly what they wanted. They don't want them focusing on parents.
And here's Kimball throwing deep toward the end zone. Incomplete. There was a collision and no flags. Lancaster wanted a flag, and you can see one of the coaches on the sidelines. Arms up in the air. They really wanted that one, and it was intended for Harry. There was a collision. In fact, there were 2 defensive players there, and no flag. So,
and I'm going to tell you, you get down there in that snow area, it's not snow, folks. It's ice. Just watch. You can see them the way they're running. They're sliding when they get to that point.
So Lancaster lines up to punt. It's a high end-over-end punt. It will bounce at about the 5 and roll back toward the 10, and Lancaster will down it. And that's a perfect example
right
of the
there.
ice that you're talking about. Yes. So you're gaining and keeping your footing is going to be an issue in certain areas of the field.
Yep, no doubt about it. And we saw it when we were watching them do the end zone because we were right down in the opposite end zone from where they are right now. As a whole group down there. And we were watching them shovel, and it was ice that was getting shoveled off. It wasn't the snow.
Well, driving out here, right around exit 55 on the thruway, I was like, oh, my God, I hope these kids aren't playing in this because it was just miserable. Rain, sleet, snow, ice.
It was nasty earlier today,
yes,
still.
It certainly was. There's a handoff to Allen, and he goes around the far side. He's got a first down, and he's on the sideline. Will anyone catch him? Allen at the 30, one man to beat, and he's got him beat. It's a Bennett touchdown. Dominic Allen all the way for the touchdown, and Bennett takes a 6-3 lead. What a great run. No flags.
So what do we talk about? If he gets to the outside, right, watch out. It's a long day. He will not be caught. And there he so it looked like he's at first it looked like the way he was running, he had a little bit of a gait to him right there, almost a limp, and it looks like he's all right.
So it's 6-3 Bennett. 9:51 to play here in the second quarter. A huge play for the Tigers. 94-yard touchdown run.
He's already over 100 yards.
Didn't take long.
No.
And the Tigers will go for 2, as they have done many, many times. Davis hands it off to the first back through, and he's stuffed. Nothing there, so Bennett will still lead at 6-3. The Tigers will kick it off to the Legends.
But such a big stop right there for Lancaster. Now you keep it as a field goal game, and that's something that helps you, aids you, right? You stay inside right now, the ability to not even have to get in the end zone to be able to still tie this game up.
So the Legends, after being stopped on the last possession, get the ball back pretty quickly after that long touchdown run by Dominic Allen. Well, man, once he gets to that sideline, you're right, no one's going to catch him.
He's going to be a guy that we're going to be talking about for a Conley Cup right now.
No doubt.
He's in that conversation, right, with the Butera, with the Kleitzes, right, with all those big names that we've been talking about. He's in that conversation also.
No doubt, no doubt. Butera, of course, had a monster game for Jamestown last night.
He just is. He really has. He's been put on a show all year long. It doesn't matter what the team is. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'll still say this. In conferences, top to bottom, that A South may have been the top conference in Western New York.
Not going to argue with you. There's the kickoff, and that'll bounce at about the 25, picked up by the deep man and going right up the middle and got some running room coming to the near side. One man back, and a touchdown saving tackle for the Bennett Tigers. Great return there.
Yeah, Lewis doesn't get him. Absolutely. That's a touchdown for Lancaster, and special teams right now in favor Lancaster early on.
And something tells me we're going to see a lot more big special teams plays in this game. I think that was Darius Servey, number 23, on the return. And we're saying 26. All right, that'd be Richard Bosworth. I think you're kidding.
No, seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's a great story for one of the TV stations to do. 1st and 10 Lancaster on the 36-yard line, and they give it to Harry, and he's got a couple of yards there.
You want to tell that? I don't know if everybody can hear them from that back there. So
well, back in the peanut gallery. Just kidding. We're told that Richard Bosworth is the nephew of the Brian Bosworth. Here's a pass. Almost intercepted. Oh, the Kimball pass knocked down. Great defensive play there by
number 51, Adrian Anderson.
And you know what? That was a touchdown. The big lineman might not have got that far.
But still, I think his eyes were wide open on that one, and he saw green grass in front of him.
I think, wasn't that Harry who knocked the ball away from him?
I just saw 51 there that he had it in his hands. I wish he had another shot at it.
Kimball throws incomplete on the near side off the hands of the wide receiver, Ethan Moonen. And now already it's 4th down for Lancaster. And they will go for it here. Ball on the Bennett 32-yard line. Well, the Allen touchdown run kind of flipped things around despite that big kickoff return. Kimball back to pass. He's got time. He throws. It's caught. That looks like a first down. First down for the Legends as the chains move. Tyler Reese on the grab, junior wide receiver. 1st and 10 Lancaster. And we go whistles and a flag. Let's see what Al Fuller says. He actually threw the flag, and that's the territory of illegal procedure. And that one, the Legends will move back 5 yards.
So early on right now, the only negative we've really seen with Lancaster is a couple flags that are killing some of these drives right here.
1st and 15. Kimball back to pass. He throws. Oh, dropped. Oh, he had that one right in his hands and couldn't hang on to it. That ball's got to be pretty slippery.
Looks like that was Marcus Huber who that was intended for right there.
And a drop there.
And again, folks, it's cold out there, and we see the wind's not as bad right now, but it's been nasty all day long.
And you know, each time that center snaps the ball, there's a run to Harry, and Bennett sniffs that one out for a short gain. And each time, you know, the ball's on the ice too. It's a slippery ball, hard to catch, hard to throw, tough to hang on to. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 15 for Lancaster.
And on the tackle was number 55, Jason Guan, the defensive lineman, the 235-pounder.
Kimball awaits the shotgun snap. High snap. He pulls it down. He's back to pass. He throws to the near sideline, and it's incomplete. Ball was right along the near sideline, and the wide receiver couldn't bring that one in. And that'll bring up another 4th down, a 4th and 15 for the Legends.
Lancaster hasn't thrown the ball a ton, right, all season. Ran the ball much more than they threw the ball. But the wrinkles started coming out last game where they started throwing the ball more and more. And we're seeing it now right here even more.
And here's Kimball back to pass. He's got good time. He throws off the hands and incomplete. And that will end that Legends drive. So that great kickoff return is not turned into any points. 6-3 Bennett with 8:01 to play here in the second quarter. And the Tigers take over 1st and 10. And you saw the wrinkle right from the opening series with Lancaster.
But I'll tell you, you can't blame any of those on Kimball right there.
No.
That 3 of those hit the hands of his receivers right there. So he's throwing it right where he needs to throw it for those receivers to come up with it.
Yes, he's done a really good job of being accurate. So 1st and 10, Bennett at their own 27-yard line. And there's the handoff, and going forward for about 6 or 7 yards is Allen. And it'll be 2nd down. And Allen will head to the sidelines, take a breather. He'll get a play off. It'll be about a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 4 as Bennett comes out of the huddle.
This time last week, Bennett already had about 46 points up on the board.
And there's a handoff, and there's no room to run there.
And that was a stop there by number 48 for Lancaster, Bryce Beto, the linebacker senior.
And that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 as Allen comes back into the game. And it was about 45 degrees and rainy in Jacksonville while you were enjoying high school football. It was pretty miserable. And what was supposed to be the highlight of the weekend was
the game, right?
Yeah. And it was a nice day that day, but the game was horrible. We did see Terry Pagula's yacht. It's from a distance. It's a nice-looking yacht. Here's the handoff, and I think they stopped him. They back Allen up and shove him back. No gain on the play that time. And it'll be 4th down for Bennett.
That was a host of Lancaster players right there. As it looked like it was something they were anticipating on that one. So 4th down, what do you think, Stu? Are you going to take a chance right here?
Well, we'll see. I'm not McDuffie. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. It looks like
I think
they're
going to
go for it.
it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
too.
no.
Yeah.
Yep, they are. I wanted to see if they were going to go back right there.
Well, you know, if you've got a Dominic Allen in the backfield, and there he goes, and he's got the 1st down, and there's a flag that comes out. So he had the 1st down. The flag, for whatever it's worth, came out after the 1st down. And
but that will, I mean,
that's coming back, holding on Bennett.
Okay, now remember, it's a spot foul when you see holding. So it's right at the 1st down line. That's going to go back 10 yards. This should sit at the original line of scrimmage is where they're going to put this.
So it'll be 4th down, and now it looks like they'll punt it away. Ball goes all the way back. And Bennett will, at the very least, lined up to punt it on 4th and 9. And we got whistles before the punt is even made as the play stops. Let's see what this one is.
Stu, we got our game right here.
Yeah.
This is the farthest we've gone in to have a game, right?
Yes, and that's another 5 yards against Bennett. And on the illegal procedure, Richard Bosworth, the deep man, and yes, he is the nephew of the Brian Bosworth. Thank you guys back there. I didn't know that. And Lewis gets the punt away. Bosworth catches it at the 48, but the ball's out. The ball is out on the ground. Oh, and the Bennett player had it, picked it up, fell on it, lost it, and another player gets it. It's Bennett's football deep in Lancaster territory, all the way down to about the 24-yard line. Bosworth muffed the punt, and another Bennett player jumped on it. He couldn't hang on to it. A couple other players jumped in there. And at the end of the play, it's Bennett football, 1st and 10 at the Lancaster 32-yard line. Special teams, Tom. There it is again.
We say it again. This time it's a win for Bennett, right? It just goes back and forth, but you have to win that special teams to win the game.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Hand off to Allen. And looks like we have more laundry on the field. I think I saw a flag flying high.
It went
there.
really high.
Yeah.
It got some height to it.
I was at the officials banquet. Brian Mayday asked me to be at the officials banquet, which was a lot of fun. I was sitting next to Al Fuller, tonight's referee. And I joke with these officials. Do you have like a flag throwing contest? There's an art to throwing a flag. And I'm not sure who. That might have been Brian Mayday who threw that one. That was way up there. And that's a false start against Bennett. So it'll still be 1st down, but they'll back up 5 yards.
Stu, I got a score update for you. St. Francis gets a pick 6 for a touchdown. St. Francis now leads 14-10 with 1:12 left in the first half. So listen, they started a half hour in front of us. Look at how quick this game's moving when they're only 4 minutes ahead of us really at this point. So you can see we're really moving right here as far as this game is concerned.
Because these guys are doing almost everything on the ground.
Exactly.
1st and 15. And here's a pass. Davis all the way down. Oh, just over the outstretched hands of Jaden Lewis. Incomplete. Oh, that was so close to being a touchdown.
That to me was flashbacks from last week because we saw that same exact play happen against Orchard Park last week, except for it went for a touchdown right there.
Great throw. Outstanding throw. Not quite. It couldn't have been outstanding. It would have been caught, right? But it was a good throw, and Lewis gave it a great effort, and just looked like he got one hand on it.
You almost wonder too. This is the part of the field that is tough to run on. Like it's one step could throw it all off by just slipping a little bit.
And it'd be hard to have a one-handed catch in a night like tonight. And there goes Allen. And he got about 5 or 6 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. As we're now under 5 minutes to go in the first half, 6-3 Bennett. And it's kind of funny, I was anticipating more scoring. Of course, there's more than a whole half to play, but, and as you said, this has stayed closer than any of the other 4 games today, so that's all to the good. There's the handoff, and going straight up the middle is Lewis. Now he goes to the outside. He's got a 1st down. He's brought down right around somewhere between the 9 and 11-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. And that time he ran straight up the gut and then cut it to the outside.
We see him do that often. That's why I talk about that. If he gets to the outside, he's already gone through a level when that happens. He will not normally go right to the outside. He goes up to the gut, then out, which means he's already at the 2nd level.
Hand off, a couple of yards there. Bring up a 2nd and go. We got a flag on the play. Let's see which way we go, which way the flag goes.
Came in early. Usually that's going to go against the offensive team.
Yep, holding on Bennett. So both these teams have had a couple of penalties. And that'll back them up. Take them all the way back to about the 18-yard line. 4:14 and counting. Do we have a timeout here on the field?
Looks like timeout Bennett.
Yep, timeout Bennett. All right, 6-3 Bennett, 4:07 to play here in the second quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers, we can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
Back at Highmark Stadium, Stu Boyer and Tom Prince. We have 4:07 to play in the first quarter. First and goal from the 17-yard line for the Bennett Tigers. They lead this one 6-3. A fast-moving game, Tom. A lot of running plays.
Which we said was going to happen at the beginning of this game. We knew this was going to be more about the run, more about your offensive lines. Who was going to be able to open up those holes? Because we know we've got two very talented running backs here in Allen and Harry.
And here's Antonio Davis III rolling to the right, throws toward the end zone, incomplete, overthrown for Jaden Lewis, and it'll be second down. Lewis smacks into the padding on the far side, on the near side there.
That gets dangerous over there. That is all just ice. You even seen when the ref got over there, right? He even slid when he crossed over to the that little snow piles into the ice.
It makes the passing game extremely difficult. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Davis did a real nice job keeping his balance rolling to the right. As you can see, it's an icy field.
And Stu, especially when you got timing, right? When you feel like you know where your guy's going to be at all times. Because you've been throwing at him all season and off season right there. It makes that difficult because you got to slow things down a little bit.
Here's a handoff to Allen, and he'll get about 4 or 5 yards. I need to correct myself. It was 2nd and 17 with the ball on the 18, so Bennett can get a first down. It was not a first and goal situation, and now they face a 3rd and 13 from the 14-yard line.
Stu, I thought we were going to get some bad weather. When we walked out right before the game, the weather was starting to change out there. We were starting to get a little drizzle, a little rain, and it looks like it's held off, and which both these teams definitely don't want to see that bad weather rolling.
Well, when they were playing the national anthem for this game, Tom, if you looked on the monitor, you could see the rain. And here's Davis. Still has the ball, just throws it out of bounds. There was nobody there.
Be careful here. This could be an intentional grounding call.
Well, let's see. I don't see any flags just yet. The officials might huddle up. Nope.
Doesn't look like it's going to come, but that's something, though, that you got to be careful with. And it get.
Well, it'll bring up a 4th down.
Because you can't just throw it out. Even though you're outside the pocket, you can't just go out of bounds with a throw, Stu. And if you do, we've seen many of those called. They get called way after the fact as the refs go. They must have thought somebody was close enough out there.
It was on the far side of the field. 4th and goal. Davis back to pass. He throws toward the end zone. Incomplete. Overthrown. And now Lancaster will take over on downs at their own 14-yard line. So Lancaster doing a great job on Allen in that particular series once they got down in the red zone. And now the Legends have the football with a chance to do something. They trail 6-3. 3:14 to play, second quarter.
It's Lancaster's almost, they're bending, but they're not breaking. You know what I mean, is what it is. We've seen them being effective running the ball, but they're just not able to put it in the end zone.
Lancaster broke on one big play. Here's Kimball, back to pass. He throws over the middle, almost intercepted and almost caught. Ahmad Bradbury almost picked that one off. Went off his hands, and the wide receiver almost had a chance to catch it. So it'll be second down.
Bradbury, and as well as, you remember earlier in the drives before, number 51, Anderson, right? That's 2 dropped interceptions right now for Bennett.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. And once again, Kimball back to pass. He throws. That's caught for a short gain and shoved back almost immediately after making that catch. And it'll be 3rd down for the Legends. And, well, I'll tell you what, they're not huddling. They're coming right back to the line of scrimmage here. Short gain there, 3-yard gain, 3rd and 7. And a little hesitation here on the Lancaster side here. Harry lined up next to Kimball. And he will roll to the right, and Kimball will keep it himself. He slides forward. Now, they going to give him the first down on the slide or not?
I don't think so.
I
Look where they're lined up, both the refs.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, they did at the beginning of the slide. He's going to be short by about 2 yards.
And the Legends will punt it away. Wonder how tough it is to actually read where you are on the field. Because he probably knew what yard line he had to get to.
Yeah, you mean the when he starts his slide?
Yes.
You know what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you sometimes you think you started it later than you actually did.
Yes, I think so too. Well, Bennett takes a timeout here. 2:13 to play. First half, 6-3 Bennett. Lancaster scored first with a field goal, and Dominic Allen with a 94-yard touchdown run that right now is clearly the play of the game for either team. And Lancaster in punt formation. No one back deep yet for Bennett. And now they will go
take
back.
a peek. There's your total yards right now in the game. Pretty close. 185 right now for Bennett, 133 by the Legends. And you know both of them mostly by the run.
Yes, sir. And the punt is a high punt. It'll bounce at about the 48-yard line, take a Lancaster roll. And it'll be down at about the Bennett 39-yard line. Ahmad Bradbury was hoping to get a chance to return that one, but didn't get the opportunity. And now it'll be Bennett ball, 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. So far in the first half, you'd have to call this a heavyweight slugfest.
No doubt. It's this is exactly what we expected it to be, and no doubt, it's a fun game to watch. And it's going to be just right now to see who's going to make those adjustments in the second half to break through a little bit more and get into those end zones. We've seen the play right now. Big between the two 15s, right? But once you get to the 15, it almost has stopped for both of the offenses. And as Dick Gallagher says, smash mouth football. We got it right here.
A great tribute to the late, great Mr. Gallagher. Davis throws it to Allen. Allen at the 40 and tripped up nicely just before he got to the 45-yard line. Good tackle there. Saved what could have been a huge gain. And it'll be 2nd down for Bennett. 5-yard gain. That's the first time we've seen Davis target Allen. There's a flag, so whatever happens here is most likely coming back. It was the flag in the offensive backfield. And it's a false start. Or as they used to call it all the time, illegal procedure. Yep. And that'll be on Bennett, and the Tigers will back up. 1:29 to play. Second quarter, 6-3 Bennett. You can see the scores of the other games going across the bottom of your screen, and you can see that none of the games were close. And a lot of points were scored. Medina, 58. The Falcons.
And that game, I thought, was you were talking about possibly the two undefeated teams going at each other. But I'll tell you, Nick Whitfield had a real big problem trying to grab the ball to be able to make any throws at all.
And there's a handoff and going forward for about 6 or 7 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd down for
Stu, in that game, I talk about Whitfield, right? This kid can throw an 86, 87 and more miles per hour fastball.
Nice.
He couldn't even get it out of his hands, it looked like. It looked like it was slipping the minute it would leave his hands. And that's when this field was completely covered out there, and it was that wet, heavy snow out there.
Yeah, that's terrible stuff. 3rd and 4 for the Tigers. Davis back to pass. He's got time. He throws deep downfield, almost intercepted. Incomplete, intended for Jaden Lewis. Nice defensive play there. And that ball seemed to hang up there just a bit. And I would say that Davis is kind of fortunate that wasn't picked off.
That's our third dropped interception for both teams already today.
Yes. 4th and 4 for the Tigers. And they've gone for it before on, well, they had a penalty on the last time they did this, 4th and 2. We're in the final 30 seconds of the second quarter. 6-3 Bennett leading Lancaster, and the Tigers are going to go for it here on 4th and 4 at their own 45-yard line. There's the handoff to Allen, and he gets the first down. He's just across the midfield stripe, and it'll be first down Bennett. And the chains will move and now they're ready to go again. Looks like they just did that to stop the clock.
Stop the clock, yeah. I mean, 19 seconds, you got to stop it. So.
Yep. So it'll be second down.
And we can see they don't have any timeouts.
Yeah, Lancaster actually did call a timeout. Okay. So a cold, crisp November evening. This is very typical. 39 degrees here in Orchard Park. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
I didn't know you did weather. I'm gonna have to tell Patrick Hammer.
No, don't tell him that. He'll go, what is he doing? He's trying to dabble in everything.
Oh, man. Well, both of us know Patrick Hammer from our days together at Channel 2. Patrick's a really good guy. And, you know, one of those crazy weather people. We'll just leave it at that. How's that?
That's all right. They all think I'm crazy on the air anyway. So,
well, maybe I can attest to that.
Listen, it's not like I don't admit it, everybody. I'm here to listen. This is fun out here.
Yes, it
These
is.
kids deserve their recognition, and I take a lot of passion in it. And I believe that when you make the call out here, sometimes I'm my loudness, sometimes it's just passion that really comes out, because I do believe they deserve their due. And I truly believe that we're trying to get more recognition here in Western New York so players can be seen, that players can be recognized. And it doesn't matter the sport. I'll do the same thing in swimming as I do in football, and I'm going to do in baseball, because everyone knows I'm going to be out there doing baseball too. I really believe these kids do deserve their day, and they deserve their moment, and be able to hear it.
And I agree with you, and you do a great job, and you do yeoman's work for Western New York Athletics. 1st and 10. There's the handoff, and Davis is spun around by 2 or 3 tacklers after a gain of maybe 2 yards.
I almost wonder if that's going to be the last play right there.
Well, 6 seconds and counting.
No, they're going to
run. Now they're going to run one more. They're going to try to get it off here before the half ends. And they will turn around and hand it to Allen. That's a good move, and he'll run out of bounds after gaining the first down. But that will bring the first half to a close. We're going to have halftime entertainment for you.
We're going to get a quick interview right here. It says Sarah's going to talk to Coach Rupp right here.
All right, go ahead, Sarah Holland.
Sarah, go ahead.
Okay, right there. I'm Sarah Holland. I'm joined here alongside head coach Eric Rupp. Coach, what do you see from your team throughout the first half?
You know, I think for the most part we're playing well. We just made some critical mistakes in some areas like the red zone, which you can't do against a good team like Bennett.
Coach, you're down by 3 heading into the locker room now. What are the keys to getting the win tonight?
I think, you know, on offense we just got to finish, and then defensively it's stop number 4. If we can do those 2 things, I like our odds.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Coach Rupp. So at halftime, it is Bennett 6, Lancaster 3. We're going to send it over to Francis Beck with Kyrie Demos and Tim Chifa down at the other end of the field. Take it away,
All right,
guys.
welcome into the press box at Highmark Stadium halftime show of the Class AA championship between Bennett and Lancaster. Right now, it's the Tigers leading 6-3 at halftime. Before we get into this game, you want to give a scoring update. St. Francis leads Canisius 14-10 in the Class A Monsignor Martin Championships. We have a little technical difficulties with that one, but that should be fixed by the time they get to the second half. They are also at halftime as well. Let's get to this game. I would say we finally have a close game.
We got one, guys. We got one, right?
We got one. We got him. It's been a tight defensive game too. I think with Lancaster, you've got to think, hey, a couple possessions, they were in the red zone, you bow up, turnovers on downs that you force, you got to feel good if you're Coach Rupp. And then on the flip side, Bennett, they got to be kicking themselves over those missed opportunities.
Yeah, it was 2 times they got in the red zone, didn't score, and then the Lancaster muffed the punt, and they moved practically 70 yards down the field off that muffed punt.
Yeah, guys, yes, it's a 6-3 game, but I don't think it's not necessarily 6-3 with lack of big plays, though.
Right.
We have a couple big plays, a huge 92-yard touchdown run, a couple big passes, and I think both defenses, outside of the one 92-yard touchdown run.
Yep.
Outside of that, it's kind of a bend don't break approach. Really impressed with Bennett's defense, especially. They're playing a zone, keep everything in front of you type of defense, which is it's tough for a quarterback because all he's going to see is 4-yard, 5-yard passes, and they're going to give them that all day. They're going to keep it in front of you and stop the big play, but Bennett really disciplined defensively, and Perry, we talked about him in the pregame show. The kid's a beast, man. I mean, he is. I went down on the field for the first quarter, and he's a man among boys, and he's a junior,
right?
I mean, he is just pushing guys off the line. Every run, basically goes to his side. We mentioned that earlier. But the kid is a great football player.
Great football player. He's, working through double teams, still is finding a way to affect the game. And, I think with, you mentioned with Bennett, their defense keeping things in front, I think when you have a speedy athletic team like they do, they know like, hey, just get those guys into spaces that we can just go attack and play downhill.
And one of the things I like what Bennett does offensively is they're very good at getting their athletes to football, especially in space, right? But yeah, we finally got a good game. This is the first game that we're not saying, there's no 24-point play. You just got to chip away at it. And we talked about this in the pregame. We couldn't see either team getting beat bad.
No.
And it still might be. It could end up being a 2-score game. But I really got a feeling that this might come down to who's going to have the ball last.
Absolutely. And I truly think for Lancaster's sake, they've got to be, drawing something up to be able to get some plays downfield, to be able to, whether that's getting to the edges in the running game, whether that's, play action game, they've got to be able to generate something because, ever since that opening drive where they kicked the field goal, they haven't really generated much offensively.
But they've made some great stops, especially stopping Bennett. Here's a question for you guys. Who would you rather be at the half, Lancaster or Bennett? I can make the case I would rather be Lancaster at this point.
For sure. It's a very fair point. I mean, just to think that you had a couple, it was a sloppy in terms of you had several opportunities that you could have had go against you for Lancaster's sake in terms of, giving up a couple big plays, giving up some possessions where you allowed the Tigers to get into the red zone. But you're still down 3.
Yeah,
it wasn't your best half.
What I think is there's been a few missed opportunities for turnovers for both teams,
sure.
Right? I counted 3 interceptions that were basically in the defender's hands. I think it was 2 for Bennett, 1 for Lancaster. Lancaster did muff a punt, which Bennett recovered. So, I hate to sound a bit elementary, but it really might come down to the turnover battle and who's going to end up winning that one. And that's when you see close games like this, 6-3, it's the little things like turnovers, which isn't a little thing, but, back to the basics of who's going to come out on top.
Or missed 2-point conversions, as we saw.
Right.
Because 6-3 game, that's 3 points. Lancaster has shown they can kick a field goal. So if they're down again 3 points late in the game, if they're inside the 20, they might be able to kick a field goal. Tim, we just got the stats in, the halftime stats. If you want to pass them to us, let's see what pops out on the screen. I've seen Bennett
175 yards rushing for Allen. I mean, obviously 92 of it's on one run, but either way, 175 yards in the first half.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's incredible.
For sure. And I mean, even clearly, Lancaster has been able to make some plays themselves. 8 first downs to 6 versus for Lancaster versus Bennett. 115 yards on the ground themselves as well. But we talked about it. Things haven't been able to go so well so far in the passing game, but also too, we've talked about this throughout the weekend. 2 of 7 on third down so far, 1 of 2 on fourth down. Yep. So that's a 3 for 8 conversion rate. Or 3 for 9. My apologies. 33%. That's just not going to be able to get it done. So the Legends have to prove that they can stay on the field to extend those drives and keep bleeding the clock a little bit and make sure that they, are able to put some pressure on the Bennett defense.
Yeah, and no more penalties for either team. It's
easier said than done, though.
I don't mean no more. That's not going to happen, obviously.
Right.
But you can't shoot yourself in the foot. And I'm okay with the penalties like a holding call in the midst of a play.
Yeah.
What I think will drive coaches crazy more than anything else is penalties before the play starts, which are mental penalties. And you move back 5 yards. Those are what's going to come back and shoot you in the foot in such a close game like this.
I mean, think about the first red zone possession for Bennett. They get in there at the 1, I believe it is.
Yeah, 2-yard line, and then went and 3 penalties are all the way backwards.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you go turn it over on downs, and you're left empty-handed there.
And I know Frank was at one of their first practices of the season, and there was a big emphasis on discipline for Bennett. I think he saw that, anytime there was a false start, they would drop down, do 20 push-ups or something like that. So, I mean, because let's be honest, those Bennett coaches will be the first to tell you they've had some discipline issues in the past, especially in big moments like this. And I think they saw with the team they have and the way AA shaped up that, this was their year, and they can't let something like discipline hold them back from winning a sectional title.
And both quarterbacks, I see they both throw really good football. Davis throws a really good deep ball. He has struggled a little bit when he got inside the red zone, to pop it in the end zone. But I'm really impressed with the quarterback play, especially when you have two primarily running teams. You got to still have that threat. It's too good at defenses just to be one dimensional. So you got to at least have the threat, especially when the defense are going to move, 7-8 guys in the box. You got to be able to pop it behind them once or twice.
I'm interested to see if either team can get either of their quarterbacks involved in the running game. Obviously the passing attack has been up and down for both squads. Let's see if either guy can get a little bit involved with their legs.
Yep.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us. Wait, someone, I think, is Frank going to give us a special note here? Oh, that's right. The Section 5 scoring update for the Class AA game. 2 Catholic schools going at it in Rochester. It's McQuaid is up 14-7 in that game. Is that a final, Frank? Is that a final? Third quarter. Okay, so third quarter, McQuaid is up 14-7 over Aquinas. That is the Class AA Section 5 game. Winner of that game faces the winner of this game a week from today at Williamsville South. So on that point, final, I guess I know we've talked about it quite a bit, but I guess Lancaster's down. So I'll ask both of you guys real quick. What does Lancaster need to do in order to come back and win this game? Win a 6th straight sectional title would only be the second to do it.
I think the key is, they're playing great defensively. I just think they've got to be able to show some type of attack on the offensive side of the ball, whether that's, the quick passing game, getting the ball out of Kimball's hands, whether that's getting the ball to Harry and screen plays or running the ball with him. I think they've got to just be able to keep the pressure up. I like that they went a little up tempo later on in the half, and it seemed to be helping them in the drive as they were driving, but they weren't able to capitalize on that. So I think if they can put some pressure on, make this a little bit more of a back and forth affair rather than a punt fest where your defense is really backed up.
Yeah, I think stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. Win the turnover battle in the second half. You can't muff punts, obviously. And I think that kid knows that, and and he wants that one back. But back to the basics. No penalties. No stupid penalties. Win the turnover battle. Stay disciplined. And I think, like I said earlier, I think this really could come down to who has the ball last.
One word. Who wins, Bennett or Lancaster?
Bennett.
Lancaster.
All right. I won't break that tie. No. I'm going to say it's Bennett. I say it's their year. They pull us off 2-1 Bennett. On that note, we're going to take a break at the halftime. Coming up after this, it'll be Stu and Tom will be back on the call with second half action. You're watching Section 6, the Section 6 Football Championships right here on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to wnyimmediatecare.com for more information.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Does he do car? Forget about it. How about home? Forget about it. Does he get good rates? Forget about it. And you're saying there's no problem too big for this guy? Forget about it. Look, this is Johnny, the guy we've been talking about. Johnny, Paul Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for the invite.
Not a problem. It's Paul, not Mr. Wolf.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Johnny, forget about it. For all your insurance needs, call 835-WOLF and...
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Stu Boyer and Tom Prince back at Highmark Stadium, where the Bennett Tigers lead the Lancaster Legends 6-3 at halftime. And there you see the statistics, the team stats from the first half, and you get a pretty good idea why that half moved along pretty quickly if you look at the rushing yards.
Yeah. I mean, only 70 total passing yards. But here, look at me. This is the 6-3 game. Look at this. Time of possession, Bennett, 12 minutes. Lancaster 11. That to me is the tall tale story right there of why this game is so even. Great time of possession, and really the difference here is two things. The one turnover by Lancaster, right? And then the more rushing yards, because that's where Bennett's winning the game right now. But that really is the difference of the first half, and it's the slight difference of the first half at this point.
And the one thing that you won't see on any statistical sheet is dropped interceptions. There were 3, 2 by, I think, Bennett and 1 by Lancaster. Yep. Those things just don't show up in the old box score, as they say. But really, a hard-fought, close, tight game, and a I hate to say it, but it's a really nice change from the previous 4 games, which unfortunately were, they were lopsided.
Yep.
Congratulations to the winners and to the guys who didn't win the games. They had great seasons to get here, and it's been quite a weekend.
I'm going to tell you, the 4 teams that have won have very good chances of going on for state championships. They are legit 4 teams that we're going to be sending into the state tournament. There's no doubt. There's one more thing, though, Bennett's got to clean up right here. That's the penalty game right there. 7 penalties, 50 yards versus 4 for 25 in Lancaster. You can't let that affect some of the drives, especially when you get down within the red zone down here.
And a couple of those wiped out good gains, holding penalties. And, of course, the penalties that really aggravate me are the false starts and the illegal procedures.
Yep.
All right, should we take a quick break and come back with the second half?
Yep.
All right, well, it's 6-3 Bennett as we get set to start the second half. We'll take a quick break. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to wnyImmediatecare.com for more information.
Welcome back to Highmark Stadium as we get set for the second half of the Class AA championship game between Lancaster and Bennett. Bennett leading this one 6-3. The only touchdown, a 94-yard run by Dominic Allen of the Bennett Tigers. Lancaster will kick off to start the second half. And we'll see how this game plays out. A 3-point difference as we get set to get started here. Pretty much all you could ask for in a championship game.
X's and O's at halftime become huge. Who is going to make those correct adjustments right now to go win this game? Now we find out.
So Lancaster set to kick off. The Tigers will attack the tunnel end of the stadium. And the kick will bounce all the way into the end zone for a touchback. They kicked it on the far side, and it took a bounce and just kept on rolling into the end zone. So Bennett will have the football, 1st and 10, at their own 20-yard line. Al Fuller points toward the tunnel end, says first down for Bennett, and the Tigers and Legends go into their respective huddles.
Look at the wind pickup. Check the flag up
Yeah,
top.
oh
Big
boy.
change in the wind up here.
Yeah, you can always count on the wind here at this stadium. There's a handoff to Allen, who burst through there, a little short of the first down. Maybe got 7 or 8 yards on that play. And, you know, you bring up the wind, it always swirls here. And if you're going to play quarterback here, you need that big Jim Kelly, Josh Allen type arm. And what you really need to be able to do in the Northeast, something a certain professional team is not very good at these days, run the football.
Yeah, which we're seeing now.
Yes, exactly. These two teams can both run the football. Davis under center. He'll hand it off to Allen, and he'll bang forward, come out of the pile. He got a first down. He's out close to the 40-yard line.
So on the last tackle was Jacob Zimmerman. He comes in again, makes the next tackle. He's a part of the next one. So Zimmerman already coming up big twice defensively right here for Lancaster.
This first drive of the second half is starting out a little bit like how Lancaster's first drive started out of the first half. That was Lancaster's field goal drive. Handoff on the far side and a short gain. Anderson with the carry that time, and he'll bring up second down. Torrey Anderson on the carry there, senior running back. Allen, the featured back, but Anderson a key component of this team as well. 2nd down and 6 from the 41-yard line for the Bennett Tigers. Hoping to become another City of Buffalo team to win a state championship, as South Park did. And there's a good run and barreling forward down to about the ball's out, but the play was whistled dead. He got it all the way down to the 40-yard line. Ahmad Bradbury, good run there, good hard running. And the ball came out after he was ruled down. They'll spot it at the 41. And that's a 1st down for Bennett in Lancaster territory. 10-12 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Tigers looking to add to their lead. There's the handoff on the far side. That's a 1st down and then some. And a flag comes out in the backfield. Lancaster says they have the ball. The ball came out.
It did. They listed it now, Lancaster. But that flag came in really late. We got to wait to see what this flag is. No, it's a hold to go against Bennett.
So they will decline that. I believe that was Jay Sean Pearsall on the carry.
No, the carry was number 31.
Oh, it was 31,
Yep.
so it was Torrey Anderson.
Yep.
All right. Well, so Lancaster gets the first huge break of the 2nd half as they force and recover the fumble. And it'll be 1st and 10 Legends at their own 27-yard line. So we'll see what Lancaster can do with the first big break.
Stats in the 1st half. The 1 turnover was from Lancaster. Already in the 2nd half. Now they cause it, even up that turnover battle right here.
So Noah Kimball comes back out onto the field for the Legends. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Kimball will hand that off to Harry, and he's got some running room. He's got a 1st down and then some. He's out to the 50-yard line, all the way down to about the Bennett 48-yard line. 1st down, no flags. Great run there.
That's how Lancaster started out. Remember when they started out running the ball? Harry finds the holes early. Lancaster starting out the same way they did the game.
And there's a handoff to Harry again. He squirts through there. He's got about 6 or 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down. We haven't, unless I've missed it, we haven't heard Rashard Perry's name called a lot.
He actually was just out. He just came back into the game right there.
Okay. 2nd and 4 from the 42 for Lancaster. Kimball will hand that off, and coming to the near side and being brought down at about the 38-yard line is Harry.
And tackle was by number 55, Jason Guan.
And looks like he got the 1st down as the chains will move. So Lancaster gets another 1st down. 1st and 10 Legends at the 38-yard line of Bennett. Kimball will hand that off to Harry, and that time he's going nowhere. He's shoved back, actually. And nowhere to run that time. Maybe a loss of a yard or 2, maybe even a little bit more than that.
It looked like the first one on the tackle there was Adrian Anderson, the defensive end right there.
And Lancaster's still not huddling. Don't think they've gone into a huddle all night. 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line of Bennett for the Legends. Kimball takes a look over at Coach Rupp on the bench and gets back into position to receive the shotgun snap. Harry standing next to him. And Harry will get the handoff, and a short gain in there. Very short gain.
And that's the Rashad Perry call right there.
See, just as I said
right,
it.
you just said it. Joining him on that tackle was number 13, Laquan Bradley.
That's like the old, he hasn't missed a field goal in 37 tries. It's like, stop. 3rd and 9 on the 37 for the Legends. Kimball back to pass, rolling back, trying to avoid the rush. He does. He throws. It's incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And no doubt you see Rashad Perry running after you. You know you're getting rid of that ball quickly. So.
I would get rid of it too. Yes, I would. Good job by the Bennett secondary. Good coverage there. Don't think Kimball really had anywhere to go with the football. That'll bring up 4th and 9 from the 37-yard line, and the Legends will go for it. I don't know about you, but I love seeing teams go for it on 4th down. I think it's great.
Well, they're absolutely.
They're not going to punt there, right?
Well, you could punt if you're going to try to pin them down there, but that one touchdown came from them being pinned down there.
Yeah,
so.
right. And here's Kimball. Back to pass. Got time. Now he's rushed. He's pursued. He throws it up in the air onto the far side. We got a late flag.
This is good. This is going to be roughing the passer.
Yeah,
What this
that was
is
the late flag, yes.
Yep.
And the pass might have been caught on the far side, but I think it was out of bounds. And that is going to be roughing the passer. That's the old we fell on the quarterback. I think 2 or 3 guys actually fell on Kimball with their full body weight.
Now remember, there's only 4 automatic first downs in football, and that's one of them right here. So this will be an automatic first down right here for Lancaster.
So Bennett makes the second big mistake of the 3rd quarter. The first one, of course, the fumble. And there it is. You saw Al Fuller with the signal. It's a 15-yard penalty, and that'll move them all the way down inside the 30-yard line, all the way down to the 22-yard line. So a huge break for the Legends. 1st and 10 at the 22 for Noah Kimball and company. Kimball hands it. He keeps it himself, comes to the near side, and is knocked out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. That time he decided to keep it himself.
And Kimball will run the ball. Last week he carried the ball 7 times for 40 yards and a touchdown last week. So absolutely not afraid to run the ball from the quarterback position.
Well, not only that, but it's a change of pace because it's the fake handoff to Harry, who everybody's going to be keying on. And now he'll get it back to Harry, and Harry bursts through there. He's got another first down. As Lancaster continues the drive, the Legends pushing forward. 1st and goal for Lancaster with 7:34 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Bennett up for the time being anyway, 6-3. And we got whistles. And someone called a timeout. I didn't see the officials point anyway, but it looks like that's another Bennett coaching staff's on the field.
This is.
And Al Fuller's telling him to get off, back up. There was a timeout. I think Bennett called that. That's a little bit dicey when your entire coaching staff comes on the field. And in fact, now you have both teams huddled around their coaches. As you can, the camera shot shows you the Bennett team, but the Lancaster team is on this side. All right, 6-3 Bennett, 7:26 to play in the 3rd quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
We're back at Highmark Stadium. 1st and goal at the 9 for Lancaster. Legends trying to retake the lead. And there goes the handoff to Harry, and 2 or 3 players spin him around, and a late flag comes in, and we'll see what that call is. That might be a
face mask.
Is that on Bennett, a face mask? It'll be half the distance to the goal line, maybe? Let's see what happens there. Face mask, Bennett. So it'll still be first down, and they'll be that much closer to the goal line. Take it all the way down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. And the Legends are just about ready to go here. Kimball hands it off to Harry, and he's buried. No gain there. No doubt Bennett knew that was coming, and they played it well that time. So it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'll tell you, if Bennett can make the stop here, boy, this would be a huge stop right here.
So they gave him a half a yard on that. 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line, or 2.5-yard line if you really want to be picky about it. Kimball tried to stop short of the goal line one more time. And now it'll be 3rd and goal. And once again, Lancaster making lots of changes. A 1-yard gain there. See what they do here. Kimball. Oh, the ball's out. Ball's out. And let's see who's got it. Battle for the loose ball. Bennett's got the ball. Bennett says they have it. And it is. It's Tigers' ball. Oh, the costly mistake there by Lancaster. The ball came out and the Tigers pounced on it. And Bennett with a great defensive stand to stop the Legends. The Tigers hold on to their 6-3 lead with 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's 1st and 10 Bennett at their own 3-yard line. What a play.
And that was Adrian Anderson again who gets that one. We've called his name a ton tonight. He's coming up big right here for the defense of Bennett.
And now Lancaster's defense has to find a way to slow down the Tigers and preferably from a Lancaster standpoint, get the ball back. And this is where they got burned last time on an Allen run. And there he goes to the far side. If he can turn the corner, it's big trouble. And they'll run him out of bounds, but he's got a first down and got him out of that area close to the end zone. Good run there.
Remember, he went 96 the last time down in this area.
Yes.
End of the third quarter, St. Francis 14-10. Tyler Baker has got 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions in that one. And Canisia's 2 missed field goals.
Well, Jerry Smith dialed up something pretty special again. He has a habit of doing that. So it's 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for Bennett. I think we're going to see a lot more of Allen here. And there's not much of a gain there as the Lancaster defense comes up and stops that one. No gain there on the Allen carry, and it'll be 2nd down. Tough night for Tyler Baker over there at St. Francis. All right, they gave him a couple of yards on that one. We'll go with 2nd down and 7. Bennett leading 6-3 here in the third quarter. And there's another handoff and another short gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
Big 3rd down for both sides right here.
It'd be huge for Lancaster to get the ball back. And what a lift Bennett must have gotten by that fumble recovery. This is 3rd down right here. Tigers want to keep this possession alive. And there's a handoff, and Lancaster will stop them short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down, so Bennett will most likely punt it away.
I'd be shocked if they didn't punt it down in this area.
They will, but you just never know in this day and age.
That's a big stop right there
It's
by
huge.
number 45, Sam Judas right there, the junior linebacker. He comes up. That's a big tackle right there to make Bennett punt.
Bosworth back deep. He's standing at about the Bennett 48-yard line. Ooh, the kick goes straight up in the air practically, bounces at the 32-yard line and rolls out of bounds, and Lancaster gets fabulous field position where it's 1st and 10. So the Legends have the opportunity to do some more damage here. They trail by a field goal with 3:59 to play in the third quarter. And Lancaster scored all the scoring done in the first half. Lancaster scored first on a field goal, and Bennett came back on the Allen 94 or 96-yard touchdown run. And Lancaster's, as you said before, has been great between the 20s. They had a little bit more struggles in the red zone.
Both teams have struggled in the red zone.
Yes, they have. The touchdown scored from nowhere near the red zone. There goes the handoff to Harry, and he's got nowhere to run. Ball comes out late.
Came out late, though.
I think he was down, but the Lancaster player fell on the loose ball. Smart thing to do. Fall on the loose ball.
That was Rashad Perry and Xavier Goodman on the tackle right there.
You know, since I mentioned it, we hadn't heard much from Rashad Perry. We've heard an awful lot from the man.
It's been constant, exactly.
Yes. 2nd and 10. And once again, Harry gets the call, and once again, he's shoved back. No gain. These two teams just slugging it out in the trenches. This is old-fashioned, or as you said before, Dick Gallagher, smash mouth football. Nothing fancy here. Mano-y-mano.
Dick, we're always thinking of you, buddy. You get part of the broadcast all the time. We're not here without you.
3rd and 10 from the 35 for the Legends. Kimball back to pass. Throws down the near side. Caught and knocked out of bounds immediately is Harry, but that's a first down. Nice throw and catch there by the Legends.
Yeah, he was wide open on that one, and Kimball does a fantastic job of finding him.
So 1st and 10 Legends. Ball's at the Bennett 19-yard line. Can the Tigers stop them again? They forced a fumble last time inside the 5. And a handoff and a flag comes in, and that is in holding territory for whatever that's worth.
I agree with you.
We'll see what Al Fuller says. Holding Lancaster. So they get a huge play, and on first down in the next series, they take a holding penalty.
Right when they get in the red zone, right? That red zone again that we're out there talking about.
Yeah. Football can be so frustrating. Teams at every level seem to have a propensity for taking those kind of penalties after a big play. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's why do you think that we hear so many things where we bring in special people just for the red zone now?
Yeah.
It's because there's so much that has to be done in those packages.
Ball back at the 28-yard line. And there's the handoff. Oh, no, it's Kimball keeping it himself. He's got some running room. He's inside the 10 and brought down inside the 5-yard line. Noah Kimball kept it himself and got it inside the 5. It's 1st and goal Lancaster. The Legends have been here before. Great run by Kimball. He faked the handoff to Harry, kept it himself. Now it's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. And there goes Harry up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Lancaster. And the Legends retake the lead at 9-6 with 2:13 to play here in the 3rd quarter. So Kimball, the big run there, the key play of the drive. And Harry finishes it off. 9-6 Legends, excuse me. So Lancaster will try to make it a 10-6 game. And this is, these extra points going to be dangerous. It's all ice. Going to be slippery. Kick is up and good. And it's 10-6 Lancaster with 2:07 to play in the 3rd quarter.
We saw in the first game of the day, Medina, that was what worked real well for them, was the fake to the running back and then the quarterback taking it in for big runs. Very similar to what we just saw there. And we've seen that play in the cold, in these elements that we've been talking about, being very effective for multiple teams today.
And isn't it amazing? Bennett makes the stop on the previous trip inside the goal-to-goal territory. Lancaster comes up with a huge stop the other way, and the punt is not helpful, and Lancaster punches it in. So lots of emotional swings in this one as the Legends get set to kick off.
So now the question is, what's the answer here from Bennett? You can see that wind blowing. That flag's literally straight across right now, which is why this ball keeps blowing over right here.
This stadium has always been, I always call it like a wind tunnel. It's a gigantic, the wind is always swirling. Even on beautiful days where it doesn't seem windy, inside the stadium it's windy. There's the kickoff, and it will be caught on the far side. And coming to the near side, trying to turn the corner. He's got some blockers. There's a flag, so whatever that is most likely coming back. There's a flag, and we'll see what they call. We got some pushing and shoving on the near sidelines, and here comes the flags. Well, that was all unnecessary to whichever player started that. There was a tackle near the Lancaster bench. It appeared to be either some pushing and shoving. Who knows if it was started by trash talking? No one knows. But there was some pushing and shoving and another flag, so we'll see how this one plays out.
I don't want to say no one knows because I think the people
the
out
official
on those
does.
field does.
Yes. Well, no one up here knows for certain. Let's put it that way. No one knows for certain. Matt Tyree on camera for us tonight. Our man Russ Battaglia shooting for Lancaster tonight. Russ does a lot of things for a lot of different schools. And let's see what Al Fuller says. Let's see. Face mask on Bennett. Personal foul. Bennett. Oh, they got Bennett twice. And nothing for Lancaster. So they're going to back him up. Lancaster has just taken the lead 10-6 with 1:57 to play here in the third quarter. So holding and a personal foul.
Wow.
That's quite a daily double. That'll back them up way back. They'll have a much longer field to navigate all the way back to the 11-yard line. The Tigers' 11-yard line. They were back out at between right around their 40-yard line after that return. And here come the Tigers. And we got a whistle. And now what?
Timeout.
Let's see. Keeping my eye on Mr. Fuller, who is apparently walking toward the Bennett sideline. Another penalty on Bennett, unsportsmanlike conduct. Was that on the Bennett sideline?
Are you?
You know what? I'm thinking the official on the far side had heard just about enough from maybe the coaching staff or a player, and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will take them all the way back to about the 5-yard line. To the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 6 after a hat trick of penalties. And there goes the handoff, and Allen goes forward for a couple of yards.
Got almost 6-7 yards on that.
Yeah, they're gonna need even more from him. And Bennett really needs to stop taking those penalties. That cost him a ton of yardage from the 40 approximately back to the 6-yard line.
Got to score. We'll give it to you right after this. We'll tell you what happened at the Canisius St. Francis game.
2nd and 4. And there's the handoff, and Allen's got a first down and a little bit more for Bennett.
Canisius snaps the ball over the punter's head.
No.
St. Francis recovers on the 25 of Canisius. Clark runs 15 yards after a Canisius penalty. Scott 1-yard TD run. St. Francis leads 21-10 with 10 minutes left in the game.
Wow. They get any kind of weather over there that you can tell, or is it pretty much the same as it is
Gotta
here?
be the same here. They're not
but
that
you never
far,
know.
right? Yeah.
Ed,
oh, yeah, you're right. Listen, I've seen crazier things. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, especially in this stadium.
But it should be pretty close. I mean,
should be.
I'm sure the wind and different things may be affecting them differently over there.
And there's a handoff, and coming to the near side is Allen, and he's out of bounds at about the 38 or 39-yard line. That should be another Bennett first down. And that time there was no talking from what we could see on the Lancaster bench as we're running out of time here in the third quarter. First down for Bennett at their own 39-yard line. This is close to where the original line of scrimmage before those 3 penalties and the kickoff return.
Good call, Stu. You're absolutely right. But Allen doing a great job of running the ball right here, really making sure Bennett's controlling this time of possession right here.
And there he goes again. Great move to get around somebody. He's at the 40. And, the ball came out, but he was out of bounds. So Dominic Allen, great run there all the way into Lancaster territory. And he points first down. Be careful there. In this day and age, they'll call taunting if you look at somebody the wrong way. Sorry. I watched the Monday night game. Just unbelievable.
It's an NFL official we're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, hey, every one of these guys is better than those guys.
There
How's
you
that?
go. See, there you go. There you go, Stu.
I like these guys. These are really good guys, all of them. All right, 1st and 10 now. Late in the third quarter for Bennett at about the 26-yard line of Lancaster, and they'll hand it off and going straight up the middle and getting a first down. Good run there. We got a flag, though.
It's right at the line of scrimmage right there.
Yeah, holding territory most likely.
It came in really late, but yes, that's where it is.
think that was Jay Sean Pearsall on
start.
the run. Oh, my.
No, it was actually number 31.
Oh, it was 31
Yep.
again. I keep seeing the 3 and not the 1. So that would be Torrey Anderson. So another penalty. Oh, my wife just texted me, Ben Roethlisberger is not playing tomorrow because he has COVID.
Oh, wow. And they just cleared Aaron Rodgers today to play.
Yeah. Fascinating season. 1st and 15 from the 31 now. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. Lancaster up 10-6. There's the handoff, and that's Anderson again, and he'll get the penalty yards back just about. And that should be the last play of the third quarter. The third quarter comes to a close with the score, Lancaster 10 and Bennett 6. We're going to toss it down to Sarah Holland on the sideline for a quick update from what's going on a very icy field here at Highmark Stadium. Take it away, Sarah.
Sarah, go ahead.
I'm Sarah Holland. It's the end of the third quarter here at Highmark Stadium. The Lancaster Legends leading by a score of 10-6 over the Bennett Tigers. Now the Tigers are looking to win their first sectional title in Class AA tonight. We'll see if they can come back in the fourth quarter. Back to you guys.
Now, Bennett has been here before. The Tigers have lost in Class B in 2014, Class C in 2015, and Class AA in the 2018 finals. Now, how good are the coaches, Tom? Eric Rupp, 6th season at Lancaster, is 55-8. Steve McDuffie, 11th season at Bennett, 62-35.
Both great coaches.
Pretty good
Both great
coaching,
coaches
right?
here in Western New York, no doubt about it.
Yep. Thank you for Miguel Rodriguez, for printing that in the Buffalo News the other day. That's not the kind of stuff I know off the top of my head.
We guys got to get Miggy now to say is, hey, thanks to when Stu and Tom does that broadcast, right?
You know, I really like the way you think. I really do.
See, Miggy, we're looking out for you, buddy.
This will be 2nd and 11 from the 27-yard line for Bennett as the fourth quarter is underway, and the handoff and getting a few yards, about 4 or 5, and that'll bring up a second down for the Tigers. Allen on the carry. So now, as we move along here into the fourth quarter, we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see how big a factor the clock becomes. Bennett trailing by 4, 11:28 to play in the fourth quarter. There's a handoff to Allen. He bangs forward. He's gang tackled. Think he's just short of the first down. They had about 5 or 6 white shirts surrounding him there. Mike Sell in on the tackle. This will bring up, it's actually 4th down. Sorry, I had it as a 3rd down. This is a 4th down right here. Huge 4th down. 4th and 2 from the 19-yard line. Who do you think is getting the ball here, Tom?
Yeah. Be shocked if it was anybody but Allen right now.
Yep. There's the handoff, and he barrels forward. I don't know if he got that. That's awfully
look at the
close.
mark. Yeah, they're coming in. It's right there.
It's awfully close. They might have to measure this. I'm pretty sure Lancaster thinks they stopped him. And it looks like they're going to measure. So they'll bring the sticks out. Well, let's see. Chain gang taking a long time getting out there. There they come. Well, let's see. This is going to be as close as you can possibly be with or without getting the first down.
Yeah.
There's the ball. They'll stretch out the chains.
First
down.
Wow.
First down, Bennett. A huge first down there for the Tigers. Wow. 1st and 10, Bennett at the 16-yard line. And Bennett chewing up some clock and some yards as they try to retake the lead. Each team with just 1 touchdown on the day. And there's the handoff to Allen. Allen still going forward. and he's inside the 5. It'll be first and goal for Bennett.
Baker just threw his 3rd interception in the end zone with 5:39 left in the game over there.
Wow. So St. Francis looking pretty good. Here's Bennett, first and goal. And barreling forward. Touchdown. Bennett retakes the lead on the touchdown. Edgar Keys the 3rd apparently got that one. And Bennett takes a 12-10 lead.
Tell you right now, this extra point becomes critical because you could take the field goal out of play right here.
So Bennett will go for 2, in which if they get it will make it a 14-10 game. So big 2-point conversion try coming up here. And Tom, it seems like games you and I have been, we've seen some interesting stuff. Handoff going straight up the middle. And they got it. It's good. 14-10 for the Bennett Tigers.
Folks, you've been waiting for the game all day. We got it. You've been asking for it. We've got it. We've got Smash Mouth football. This is the game. We still got 10:05 left in this one. Hey, tune in because it could be who has the ball last is going to win this one.
Torrey Anderson, I believe, converted the 2-point conversion. And Bennett will kick it off. Well, these two heavyweights have traded punches here in the fourth quarter, or in the second half, certainly. Lancaster took the lead. Now Bennett answers. We've seen a lot of Micah Harry and a lot of Dominic Allen, as we expected. And, of course, Noah Kimball with a couple of great plays thrown in there as well. So Bennett will kick it off. And they will make sure it bounces. Oh, grabbed by the return man on a hop. Nice catch there. And trying to go around the far side, and he won't quite make it. It looked like that was Travis Bauer, number 25. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Lancaster.
That was a great open field tackle there by Dejon Elston there, the sophomore. Did you see that? He doesn't make that tackle, and there's a chance he gets to the outside and makes something happen.
He wanted to turn that corner, and he wouldn't allow it. 1st and 10, Bennett at their own 32-yard line. We'll see what Kimball and company have up their sleeves here. They'll have 3 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. And most likely we'll see a lot of Micah Harry still. Nope, he's going to throw it to the near side. Caught. And a good gain to the near side, and finally getting knocked out of bounds is Matt Bauer. So we're getting some different guys involved in the offense now. We'll see what Coach Rupp pulls out of his bag of tricks. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line for the Legends. There's the handoff. Now that was actually Kimball on the keeper, and he got about 4 yards after the fake. And Lancaster comes right back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8. That time he hands it off to Harry, and he's spun down after a very short gain, which will make it 3rd down. 3rd down for the Legends. 3rd and 5 at their own 49-yard line. Kimball looking over toward the bench. Now barks out the signals. Harry moves to the other side of him. And we got a whistle, 2 flags, 1 in each direction. It's a false start against Lancaster. So 2 officials threw the flag at the same time, and the Legends will back up and make it 3rd and 10 from the 44-yard line.
It's been the one thing. Both teams have really, penalties have cost drives. You know what I mean? Not necessarily, I'm not talking about the amounts or different things. It's always killed the drive is what it seems.
The timing of the penalty. Now 3rd and 10 from the 44 for the Legends from their own 44-yard line. Kimball throws, caught for a first down and spun out of bounds on the far side after making the catch. Marcus Huber. And it's first down Lancaster. Huge 3rd down play there. Kimball hands it off to Harry. Harry goes up the middle, and he'll get 7 or 8 yards. Richard Perry on the stop that time. This no huddle for Lancaster's been, I would say, quite effective. And there's a whistle. And let's see what we got here. Is that Bennett taking a timeout? All right, Tom, what do you say we take a quick timeout? 14-10, Bennett, 8:15 to go in the 4th quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
Back at Highmark Stadium, the Legends with a 2nd and 2 from the Bennett 37-yard line. And it's Bennett leading this one 14-10. But Lancaster has a good drive going here. Lancaster in the white jerseys, if you're just joining us. And there's a handoff to Harry, who pushes forward for a first down. If you're just joining us, Lancaster in the white jerseys, red numerals, red pants, red helmets. Bennett, orange pants, blue shirts, orange numbers, and dark blue helmets. First down. The handoff to Harry. Not much there that time, maybe a yard or 2.
And that was Perry right there, as you saw on the tackle.
Yeah, he wasn't going to let that one go anywhere.
No.
A 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 from the 31-yard line. Now the clock beginning to be a much bigger factor. 7:49 and counting for whoever does or doesn't have the ball. And Harry is stopped. No gain really. Stuffed. And they're going to call it 3rd and 10 from the 32. And actually, now the PA announcer says a loss of 1. So it was 2nd and 9. Now it's 3rd and 10. Kimball takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the left. Now he's going to run, and he's knocked out of bounds short of the first down on the far side. Big collision on the far side. He is short of the first down. It'll be a 4th down.
That was Goodman there on the tackle who actually got him out of bounds right there.
So it'll be 4th down for Lancaster. And the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line. It is too far to attempt a field goal try.
If we were at that St. Francis Canisius game, this may be getting tried.
I was just thinking that. 4th and 4 for the Legends. And we have a timeout taken, and that time it's by Lancaster. I was grateful that it was not a false start.
Yeah. No, Stu, I want to talk a little bit about what you were saying, this no huddle. Yes, it's a no huddle, but they use a lot of the time still out there. They can get their play called in from the sideline. You can see everybody is wearing wristbands out there. So they'll call the play in, everybody could see. So what gets done in the huddle is just getting done out on the field is what it is.
True.
And sometimes it's quick, and then sometimes you can see as they'll take their time and do what happens inside a huddle in essence.
So it's 7:06 to play. 4th and 4 for Lancaster. Bennett leads this one 14-10. And according to that's Dennis. Yes, Dennis Serro. Baker throws his 4th interception. As Tyler Baker, 3:10 left in the game of St. Francis and Canisius. I didn't see what the score was.
It was still the same score, which is that 21 to 10 St.
21 to 10
Francis.
St. Francis. So Jerry Smith does it again, or looks like he's going to do it again.
I talked about how good that defense is for St. Francis. I kept saying it, Stu, with you.
Third down caught. Fourth down caught. Great throw and catch right there. And Lancaster has a first down at about the 16-yard line. Tyler Kramer on the catch there, number 11. First and 10, Legends. Handoff to Harry, coming to the near side and brought down at about the 10-yard line. Someone really grabbed onto the ball, the tackler for Bennett.
Pearsall, I think
and
it was.
he tried to take it away.
Yeah.
That's a great play. One Bennett player says he got it. I haven't seen any officials say that. The Bennett players, a couple of them are saying they do, but no official is making that signal, and they're the ones who count. But great effort there by Pearsall to get the ball away. Bring up 2nd and 4 from the 10-yard line. And like I said before, that clock is working against both teams now. 6:23 and counting in the fourth quarter. 14 to 10 Bennett. And Harry gets a couple of yards before he gets thrown back. And it'll be third down. This game has had everything, almost everything you could ask for here. 3rd and 1 at the 7-yard line for the Legends. Lancaster trying to retake the lead. Kimball looks over to the sideline. Has a word with Harry in the backfield with him. And he will hand it off to Harry, and there's not much running room there. I think we've got another 4th down here. I don't think he got it.
Delshawn Taylor, number 54, was in on the tackle on that one. But here we are. This is that red zone we've been talking about right here. Can Lancaster get it in that end zone?
Well,
or even a first down. This is close enough for a first down, too.
Well, this could turn out to be the play of the game here. And a false start. The ball was not snapped. A costly penalty for Lancaster. 4th and 2 now becomes 4th and 7. And there it is again, Tom. A key point in the game and a penalty. And that's been both teams to some degree. And that one, just the timing, just awful. So 4th and 7 now from the 13-yard line for Lancaster. Kimball takes the snap, back to pass. Rolls to the far side, a flag comes out, he stops, he throws, incomplete in the end zone as Bennett will hold strong. That's a holding on Lancaster, which will obviously be declined, and Bennett will take over on downs. That costly penalty really hurt him.
It's hurt, like I said, both teams on drives right there. And I'll tell you, that looks like who that was intended for was Jack Harrington. He almost came up with an amazing catch over there. Unfortunately, when it counted, but if he did come up with it, it would have given them at least another chance or another opportunity right there.
So Bennett takes over on downs at their own 12-yard line. They'll have a 1st and 10, 4:41 to play, fourth quarter. Tigers up by 4. And once again, we're expecting a steady diet of number 4, Dominic Allen.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a little Anderson mixed in, but it's going to be all run.
And there goes Allen out to the far side. He's got a first down and will run out of bounds at about the 27 or 28-yard line. It'll be first down Bennett as the chains move.
The only thing I am doing when he gets to the sidelines, you stay in bounds at this point. You want that clock running if you're Bennett.
Yes, no doubt. Excellent point. Keep it in bounds. Keep that clock moving. You have the lead and the ball. And don't help your opponent out by getting out of bounds. So here come the Tigers to the line of scrimmage. Davis under center. Hands it off to the second back through there. About a gain of 5. Anderson on the carry. Our offensive coordinator, Tom Prince, called that one. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line. See, I know that you have all these jobs that other people don't know about. So I know that I'm sitting next to the offensive coordinator.
I don't think people even realize that I actually do work a job outside of all this.
2nd and 5 from the 30. And there's the handoff to Anderson. He stays in bounds and barrels forward. He's pretty close to a first down. That was some good hard running there by Torrey Anderson. And the clock continues to tick, although for some reason it stopped. I did not see him get out of bounds. I saw the
it's
official.
A timeout.
Who called that?
I didn't see
it's
who called it, but
got to be Lancaster. Yeah,
yep, there you go.
Is that their third? Second timeout. All right, we're going to take a quick break. At 14-10, Bennett with 3:41 to go in the fourth quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
Hey, Stu, before we go to this play, let's give everybody an idea of the crowd that's going on out there.
2nd and 5, handoff to the second back through. That's a first down. Allen spins forward and did a good job hanging onto the ball because he got popped. And you can see the Bennett sideline celebrating the first down. The chains will move. Good run by Allen there.
And I'm going to tell you, it's not. We had a much bigger crowd at the Frontier game last night. You could see that. But I'll tell you, this crowd's loud. That was a crowd, Mike, that you could hear them out there today.
And it's cold out there. Not that has anything to do with noise.
Which may be more why I'm going to yell, right?
Yeah. Yes. 1st and 10, Tigers at their own 40-yard line. Handoff to Allen. Allen to the far side. He's got about 7 or 8 yards, and did he stay in bounds?
I have a big update for everybody in this game.
St. Francis scored again?
We find out who will play the winner of this game, as McQuaid has beaten McQuiness 28-14. So the winner of this game will go on to play McQuaid at Will South.
And for those of you who aren't aware, in Rochester, the Catholic schools play the public schools. I'm sure most people are aware that it does not happen here generally, but it does there. And that game will be at Williamsville South. And there's a handoff to Allen, who barrels forward pretty close to a first down. Not much there that time. And we have Lancaster taking a timeout. So that 2:58 to play in the fourth quarter. Bennett with the ball in the lead. They lead 14-10.
That was a big tackle right there by Tommy Carlson is who that was, the junior defensive lineman, the 230-pounder right there.
Well, Lancaster needs to get a stop and get the ball back. And no doubt Bennett just wants to keep running it and running the clock. So you said McQuaid won or Aquinas?
McQuaid won.
McQuaid won, okay. Well, honestly, to be perfectly honest, when you and I were at Brighton High School in Section 5, McQuaid is not very far from there.
Absolutely.
It's just down Elmwood Avenue. So now this is going to get me in trouble, but I'm going to say it.
No, it had nothing to do with me, folks. I'll tell you that right now.
No, at Channel 2, we used to work with a gentleman named Bob Mancuso.
Okay.
And I can't remember if he's going to kill me. He went to either Aquinas or McQuaid. And those two schools are huge rivals.
Yeah.
I think he went to Aquinas. So I hope I got that right. He played for Aquinas. He recently retired from Channel 2.
That's not a bad one. I thought you were going to drop a bomb when you say something like that, Stu.
No, but if Bob hears about that and I got the school wrong, he'll never let me forget it. So that's at Williamsville South next Saturday at 6 o'clock. The winner of this one gets McQuaid. 1st and 10 at the 50. And there's a handoff and nowhere to run really, but somehow a yard was gained maybe? Not much. Anderson on the carry there, but one of the important things is the clock continues to tick, and there's no 2-minute warning here.
And there's no timeouts left right now for Lancaster. And as everybody knows, Lancaster right now, 5 consecutive section AA titles on the line right now.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain for Bennett. Davis hands it off to Allen. He takes a big hit. He's short of the first down, and he paid for that run. But he got a few yards, and the clock continues to tick. This is 3rd and 4 now from the Lancaster 44-yard line.
And that tackle was Ethan Monin right there.
Well, we've heard that name before, and that was a big stick.
Yep, it really was. He went up and made that hit. Needed to come up big for his team. We're now under the 2-minute mark right here.
3rd and 4 at the 44 of Lancaster for the Bennett Tigers. Antonio Davis III under center. And he will hand that off to Allen, and Allen tries to turn the corner. He gets the first down, and that time I believe he got out of bounds. You can see the Bennett players jumping up and down. They believe that's a first down.
It is. He just signaled.
It is a first down. So Bennett keeps the ball and keeps the clock moving. Well, it'll stop once the chains move, but
I think
because he went out of bounds.
They can knee, can't they, from here? With no timeouts?
Well, most likely. They're in a great spot, put it that way. We'll see what they do here. I mean, if they can kneel down, I would kneel down. And let's see. They're going to take a lot of time before they snap the ball. Well, they will hand it off. And a couple of yards are gained there.
On the tackle there was number 45 for Lancaster,
Oh.
Sam Judas.
Is that a late flag that just came
It
out?
was, yep.
Unsportsmanlike against
Oh,
Bennett.
wow.
Well, if I were the coach, that would send me into enrage me if you took a penalty like that. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for no reason. So that stops the clock with 1:23 to play in the 4th quarter and backs them up.
15 yards.
So now it'll be 2nd and 20 from the 50-yard line.
But with
even further back than
with
that.
1:23 left, I don't know how they can't just they should be able to kneel the rest of the way.
They're not doing it, and I would think you're right. So now it's 2nd down and 25.
Okay, because it was after the play, so okay.
2nd and 25 here.
Yeah, there you go.
There they go. There's the first one. The Bennett players urging the crowd on. Some of them are.
And look, you've got 35 seconds right here on the clock, right?
Yep.
So you kneel again one more time. You should be able to run this. You're going to get this right down.
Well, we're about to be under the 1-minute mark. And referee Al Fuller.
So this should take us down to 40 seconds is where they should take us down to.
2nd and 25. And they will wait and use up most of the play clock. You can see the Bennett players celebrating on the far side of the field. And Davis takes a knee. As
And
the
there
clock
you go,
ticks,
40.
10
It
goes.
literally will run right out. That's it.
Yeah, well, the Bennett players starting to celebrate. The Lancaster players still standing on the field. See if they have to snap it one more time just to be, quote-unquote, official. But Lancaster's streak
I don't think they do because it's literally going to hit 0.
Yeah, well, Lancaster's streak of 5 straight AA championships comes to an end after a great heavyweight bout with the Bennett Tigers. You see the clock ticking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's all over. The Bennett Tigers have dethroned Lancaster. The Tigers win the Class AA championship 14-10. A great game. Lancaster's season comes to a close. Bennett moves on into the Far West Regionals against McQuaid next Saturday evening at Williamsville South. You can see the Bennett players celebrating and the disappointment of the Lancaster players. Tom, that you couldn't have really asked for much more in a game than that.
Listen, you said when we first got here, Stu, I want a game, and you got it.
Uh-huh.
It was that and more. Defense comes up big, right? All about the run. Micah Harry on one side, and of course Allen on the other side. Anderson also mixing it in there for Bennett too. But no doubt a run game, and Bennett comes up big, and this is their first AA championship, and comes into this one, right, as the number 1 seed, and will walk out as the number 1 seed right now.
Well, Bennett trying to do what South Park did in 2015, become a City of Buffalo school to win a state championship. And as you recall, back in the day, the Harvard Cup was played, and then they merged that league into Section 6, and I think that's been really good for everybody. So the Tigers finally break through here at Highmark Stadium. We've got some post-game coverage coming up.
Yeah, so hold on. We'll do the character athlete of the war. We've done them for every game, so we'll tell you who awards that. Right after they award that, we're going to kick it right over to our post-game right there, where Francis, Tim Chifa, and Kyrie Demos are over there waiting for us to send everything over there. But our winners right now, so we know our champs. Randolph has won the D class. Jamestown wins the A class. Medina wins the C class. Western New York Maritime Health Sciences wins the B class. And now your AA is Bennett.
And Jamestown, they get a home game next Friday night, don't they?
And Randolph not far
too.
away,
Yeah.
right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, yep, they both get a chance to go down there and play at Jamestown. And then it'll be Bennett, Western New York Maritime Health Sciences, and then as well as Medina will then go to Will South and play their games in their fantastic field over at Will South.
It is a very nice field, and it's a lot closer to home for me. It's the other side of the town for you.
Yep.
This is much closer to your home, but a great game.
Now, folks, to watch any games moving forward, it has to be on the NFHS network. Western New York Athletics will not be able to broadcast from here on in. You can only see the games on the NFHS network. That's it. That's all it can be. We will be there to help provide coverage and stuff like that, but to watch the games, it will be on that network.
And that is...
You got to subscribe to it, and there is a cost and everything else to it. So be ready for it, but you will need that in order to watch games. And if they advance out of here to Will South into Syracuse, that's the only way to watch those games.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed this weekend, the 5 games here at Highmark Stadium. They were... the first 4 were a little on the lopsided side. This one was anything but lopsided as they present the character awards now and the team MVPs and all that good stuff. So Bennett with a 14-10 win. Just a thrilling game that had just about everything. The one thing it really didn't have was a lot of passing, which shouldn't really surprise you in November.
We knew it wasn't going to.
No.
But they haven't done it all year, so what was going to really make it? They sprinkled it in like they do all year, but I didn't expect them to be big passing.
No. Lancaster had one big passing play. It was Kimball to Harry.
Yep.
And Bennett tried to hit Jaden Lewis a couple of times, and they were unable to connect. So
our first one's being called right now, Stu. We should see our player walk out here.
Let's see who it is. I
can't tell if it's 63 or 53.
That's a 6. I'm looking on camera down there. Is it a 61 or a 60?
No, 63.
63.
Yep.
For Lancaster, 63.
So Jake Sarnowski, the senior offensive lineman right there.
Well, congratulations to Jake. And for Bennett, let's see, what number is that? I can't see. It's a 0.
It's 50.
50. So Bennett should be Xavier Goodman,
who we called a lot tonight on the defensive side of the ball. So that is great to see right there. So, Stu, I think we're done here. You want to throw it over to our guys?
Yes, I do. Thank you all for joining us all weekend long. Stay with us. Francis Beck, Kyrie Demos, and Tim Chifa have more post-game coverage. Thanks to Tim Gardner and Matt Tyree, and thanks to you, Tom Press. Once again, the final score, Bennett 14, Lancaster 10. I'm Stu Boyer. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, welcome into the the press box at Highmark Stadium. 5 games, 5 champions declared for Section 6 football, including that last one. It's Bennett finally getting over the hump. They defeat the Lancaster Legends 14-10 in the AA title game, ending the Legends' run of 5 straight sectional titles. The Tigers are able to bring it to an end and get their first win in AA and first sectional title since 2016. Guys, we finally got a competitive game. Boy, was this interesting.
What a game. And second half was unbelievable. First off, shout out to Coach Rupp and his staff and his team. They did not quit. To come in second half, you start out, drive down the field. You get Harry involved, your most explosive weapon offensively. You get him involved. You run some up tempo, you score. But for Bennett to turn right back around, respond quickly, and especially with some of the sloppiness that they had all throughout the game, penalties.
Yeah.
We see they were charged for 13 penalties in a win at that, but to be able to stick to their guns, stick to the running game, 392 yards rushing, 332 for Dominic Allen on 32 carries. I mean, unbelievable workhorse night for him.
Yeah, I mean, the two superstars came to play for Bennett. Perry on the line, dominated, and can't say enough about Dominic Allen. 332 yards, and it was huge yards at huge times. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, get the first down, keep the drive going. It was definitely a for both teams, but great defensive performances, for both teams. Hold Bennett. Yeah, they had 428 yards rushing, but only 14 points.
Right.
So it was a bend, don't break for both. It did kind of come down to who had the ball last. Lancaster had a chance, on about the 30-yard line, and Bennett's defense stepped up huge. Francis, it was a long weekend. We finally got a great game. It only took 4 long ones to get there, but yeah, that was a great game, and it's almost exactly what we expected. Before the game, it's what we talked about. There was no way either one of these teams, this well coached, this well disciplined, was going to get blown out.
I said something to you when you came up. Said I had a comment, but I'm going to hold off making it. So here's what it was on that beginning of that. Remember the beginning of that final scoring drive for Bennett? They had the great kick return. It was called back. They had the holding call. I believe there was an unsportsmanlike, which was a 30 yards back. They were at their 10, and they managed. You know what? Because I felt like Bennett has in the past in these moments struggled with discipline. We saw some penalties, but they had those big 30 yards, and I thought, man, are they done there? But you know what? They showed a ton of resilience, and they drove the ball 90 yards down the field and scored the game winner. It was we got to get his name in here. It's a fun name. It was Edgar Key the third, the fullback. They handed to him after everything we've seen from Allen and Anderson. They give it to this guy. He's only had 1 touchdown all year coming into this game. His second one's probably the biggest of his life, winning a sectional title for the Tigers.
I think one of the, one thing that I don't think gets enough credit in the game of football at times is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Bennett Tigers really stuck to their mantra of we're going to run the ball. The outside zone, I don't know how many times they ran outside zone tonight, but it was something that they continuously leaned on, and it really helped propel them to the victory.
And that's the other thing is sometimes they would get in these moments, they would do so rolling the ball, then try throwing, and that would turn them off.
I think one of the things that the guys that I was most impressed with Bennett was continuing over and over to overcome adversity.
Yes.
All right. So Lancaster gets down to the 2-yard line. There's a couple penalties. Bennett's starting to lose their cool a little bit.
Yeah.
Lancaster fumbles, and Bennett gets the ball back. Bennett goes to 4th and 2, decides the punt, pretty much shanked the punt, went about 7 yards. Lancaster comes back and scores. Another 2 or 3 more penalties called on Bennett. They're starting to lose their cool a little bit. I think they felt the world was against them at that point, but they keep their composure and, again, overcome adversity. Like you said, stick to the game plan, feed Allen the ball, and he came through with 332 yards. But again, they didn't lose their cool. They didn't change the game plan. They got down in the second half and stuck to it and overcame. What a lot of teams couldn't do is when Lancaster starts rolling and they get all the momentum, they usually just keep on going and going. Bennett stopped them in their tracks and took back over the game.
Momentum is such an important word that you use because all the momentum was Lancaster's. They to have the first half end the way it did.
And it was a home game for Lancaster.
Essentially.
I mean, if you looked at the crowd,
Yeah.
I mean, it was, what, 20
I
to
think
1?
a lot of Bennett fans are watching right here on Facebook. So shout out to you guys for watching.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. But it was 20 to 1 here.
No
right.
doubt.
I mean, it was a Lancaster home game. So every time there was a penalty, every time it was Lancaster's fans going crazy, and Bennett just kept sticking there, kept sticking, and fought the adversity, came over it, stuck to their game plan, and just, Allen, he just kept going and going and going, getting to the outside. I mean, he's just a special player.
You mentioned
really special.
You mentioned situational stuff. We talked about how Bennett had some struggles in the red zone. They were also 3 of 5 on 4th down conversions. That's huge. I mean, in a game like this, they showed that they weren't going to be kicking too often, but in those moments, being 60% 4th down rate, you're going to win a lot of games if you're able to do that.
And how about that 2-point conversion?
Huge.
We talked in the first half that they didn't get it.
Yes.
Came back and got it in the second half, and that made Lancaster go for it when they were down there instead of kicking the field to go ahead because they were up 4 points.
Absolutely.
So huge 2-point conversion there.
All right, Kyrie, we do know who Bennett will face next week. The Section 5 AA game is a final.
Yes, it is. McQuaid defeated Aquinas 28-14. Huge rivalry game. In the greater Rochester area there. And so this is really, really going to be a tremendous game. McQuaid has been, similar to Medina, where they haven't lost in 2021, haven't won a sectional championship in the spring. McQuaid has not lost a game since the 2019 state championship game. So just to show you, the Knights have had a pretty strong program over there in Section 5. So it should be a classic battle.
Do you also want to mention the other game we had on our air ended probably 10 minutes, maybe a couple minutes before this one did. St. Francis defeated Canisius 21-10 in the Monsignor Martin A game. Let's just take a moment to recognize the winners from this weekend. We got St. Mary's won the Monsignor Martin B title. Christian Lewis also broke the league record, all-time record, or single-season rushing record. And then in Class D, it was Randolph. Class A, Jamestown continues their streak. Medina wins the second straight Class D title. Maritime wins their third straight Class B title. And then, of course, Bennett defeats Lancaster just now 14-10 to end the Legends run. Guys, final thoughts from this weekend. We returned to the stadium. And I think it was a fun weekend. Even though we had 4 blowouts, it was still a fun weekend.
I think, like you just said, you could have ended after your first sentence, the return to the stadium. To think of where we were a year and a half ago, to think where we were, it's November now, so 6 months ago in May, to think that we had kids playing in sectional title games on their home turfs, and they knew, hey, this is it. This is where things are ending for us. We don't have an opportunity to win regionals, to get to a state title game. So to be able to get back to this environment, to have the crowd here, to have us here, to be able to represent for Western New York and for Section 6, and obviously Monsignor Martin as well. It's just a beautiful thing. Football is such a unifying factor, especially here in this region. So it's great to have everybody back.
Yeah, quickly, I want to give a shout out to the character award winners for the game just finished. Lancaster, number 63, Jake Samowski, and Bennett, number 50, Xavier Goodman. So congratulations to those two guys. I think my final take, Francis, is I think we can, without a doubt, say the best 5 football teams won this weekend.
For sure.
There wasn't, kind of a fluky game where there was a bad bounce and maybe the better team, took too many penalties or something stupid like that. I think it's very clear the best 5 football teams are moving on next week.
No doubt.
All right, so that wraps up. That's going to wrap up our coverage from Highmark Stadium. But be sure to keep an eye on our social media. Our reporter, Sarah Holland, who was joining this weekend on the sidelines, she got an interview with Coach McDuffie after this game. She also got interviews with a bunch of the players from the other games this weekend, a bunch from the winning side. So be sure to check that out as well. We also have Christian Lewis breaking the record. We just remember we had that final, getting that final TD for the rushing yards. That's on our social media. So also check that out. You can rewatch any of these games as well, including that Class A game with Jamestown. That was, we put that on tape delay last night. So you can rewatch that. So tons of coverage. Next weekend is Far West Regionals We unfortunately, makes me so sad. We aren't able to show them on Western New York Athletics. They're going to be on NFHS Network. That's not our decision. It's by the state, in which unfortunately that is a subscription. I believe it's maybe $13, $14 a month, but that would cover you if you make it. It's only one-time payment for or it covers you for the month. So if your team makes it all the way to states, you would get about 2 or 3 games out of that. So it would be worth the investment. But those games will be next weekend. Class D and the Randolph Jamestown will be actually at Jamestown, and then Medina Maritime Bennett will be at Williamsville South on Saturday. I think that's all we got for this weekend. So for Frank, Tom, actually, let me start with this. We had so many people helping out behind the scenes. Thanks to Tim, Kyrie for joining. We had Joe Daniel on the panel last night. We have so many people working behind the scenes, getting these broadcasts together. We know we had some trouble with some of them today. We do apologize for that. We do the best we can with what we have, but so many people made this happen for our game recaps, which we also have. There's too many people. I'm not going to name too many people because I know I'll forget somebody, but thank you to everyone who helped out this weekend. It was fantastic for Western New York Athletics. Despite the hiccups, we still enjoyed everything we were able to do and able to bring you. We hope many of you enjoyed what we were able to bring you guys this weekend. So for a final time this weekend, thank you for watching our coverage of the Section 6 football championships at Highmark Stadium.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.